Love the better not to lose it. If you're around and nothing, keep it going. Love is all I got. No matter how the fight against the youth, they just keep on striving. Rastafari is the truth. Nothing they can do to stop the love that is the root and I see. Kalonji trample, yeah. No matter how the fight against the youth, they just keep on striving. King Selassie is the truth. Nothing they can do to stop the love that is the root and I sleep. Black people trample.
Have you ever heard a cage bird sing? There's a time and a place for everything.
Back to the future.
Whoa, 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 whoa. And do you believe in the joy it brings? When your eyes are open and you can see everything that's around you. Separating friends from foes, taking dangerous blows, learning from life as you grow. Yo, do you believe me? And whatever rough it may seem, it is not a far-fetched dream. And I know dreadlock will be coming in. And whatever rough it may seem, it is not a far-fetched dream. And I know blessings will be flowing like a stream.
You can't resist, no escape. Your feelings start creeping up, coming your way. Can't do a thing no matter what they say. You find yourself walking around daydreaming. Roses being red and violets blue. She loves me, yes, she loves me not. That's what you do. You can't get a grip, I know you're acting foolish. Look in the mirror and say, what's this? Looks like something I go on. Love's contagious, something I go on, but it's the sweetest sickness. Feeling inside bubbling over. You get a feeling in the side bubbling over. Look like something I go on. Love's contagious. I don't need to be cured. Woman, you fill my prescription. Feel like a new man. You're like my vitamin. You keep me coming. Oh, baby, you're my medicine. When I need you so, never letting you go. And when you love her tightly, I couldn't do a thing about it. No, me no want fish in a pharmacist. No, me just wanted to come and treat me. Me no want a doctor come drugs me. No, all me want you do is I like your skin.
Dry cry, even tears, even my heart cry. But who cares? Whose fault's no one but myself. Things do happen, words can't explain. The young, the human reasoning, joy mixed with pain. People would spend time just for us to separate. They don't want to see us reach nowhere. Oh girl, and you know I care. Why does it have to be this way? Can't tell you go, can't tell you to stay. Oh, just one of those days. Just one of those days. Am I too humble or ignorant? Things began to find nothing seems important. Oh, my girl had left me and gone. Doesn't want to see her in another arm. The essence of her beauty and the charm, the perfume still linger. Oh damn, remember girl, where we coming from? Oh, I'm the one to whom you belong. Oh yeah, girl, you keep me strong. You and you alone, no other one. Why does it have to be this way? Can't tell you to go, can't tell you to stay. Just one of those days. Just one of those days.
I never wanna see you flying over me. You know that's not the way that it's supposed to be. Oh no, 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 no. You gotta be strong. Never wanna see you flying over me. You know that's not the way that it's supposed to be. Oh no, 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 no. You gotta be strong. Oh my love. chasing every beautiful woman I see. In the end, what's my reward? I brought unhappiness in my yard. Oh Lord, I never wanna see you crying over me. You know that's not the way that it's supposed to be. Oh no, 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 no. I never wanna see you all over me. You know that's not the way that it's supposed to be. Oh no, 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 no. Try your weeping eyes.
Oh, I wonder if it's me she want, or if it's he she want. I wonder if it's me she want, or if it's he she want. Hey, cause she wanted a pretty boy. I call them pretty boy. The woman say she wanted a pretty boy. Well, if it's that way you they want, then that way you they want. Cause she wanted a pretty boy fella. I call them pretty boy fella. The woman say she wanted a pretty boy fella. Well, if it's that way you they want, you should have said that. But she end up with a real Congo bongo, real Congo bongo, real Congo bongo, naughty trade. She end up with a real Congo bongo, real Congo bongo, real Congo bongo bobo jade. One we know the value of the locks they on the head. No pretty boy mustache, pretty boy dead. And he never put no ham and no sausage in his bread. No hairdresser never put on him trade. And he born out Colonel Sanders in a yam from no dead. She end up with a man born CIA born fed. She end up with a man with Selassie as the head. Real jungleists where on the ganja block red. Way but she wanted a pretty boy fella. I call them pretty boy fella. The woman say she wanted a pretty boy fella. Well, if it's that way you they want, you should have said that. Hey, I say she wanted a pretty boy fella. I call them pretty boy fella. The woman say she wanted a pretty boy fella. Well, if it's that way you they want, you should have said that. But she end up with a real one. One of them real one. One of them real Congo bongo naughty trade. She end up with a real one. One of them real one. One of them ancient Congo bongo naughty trade. Shuba shuba, shuba shuba day, shuba shuba, shuba 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 day, shuba shuba, shuba shuba day, yeah 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 yeah.
Now, no real man can live without a woman. Like night to day, says a woman to her man. She's essential to his purpose and his mission. A good woman is a glory to her man. She'll never take the power, she'll just make him a better man. Every great man has a virtuous woman. Woman, you say you love me, you never leave me lonely, yeah. You always be there for me, so need not to worry, yeah. Woman, to keep I strong, which is part of your plan. I'll leave my mom and dad, find a woman and be one. With a woman I make my bond, perfect combination. I am a black man, so I love me black woman. Woman, I give me this sweet, sweet love. Oh, oh, anytime of day, yeah, lots of kisses and hugs. Oh, I burn out all, yeah, yeah, yeah. No real man can live without a woman. That night to day, says a woman to her man. She's essential to his purpose and his mission. A good woman is a glory to her man. She'll never take the power, she'll just make him a better man. Every great man has a virtuous woman. Woman I love and honor. The father had the light, carry on.
Back to the future.
The mother Rastafari is
them now say. No make nobody tell you you cannot make it. Them wrong. Just hold on pon this man is wrong. No make nobody tell you that you cannot make it. Them wrong. And no fad when up in a sinking sun. No make nobody tell you that you cannot make it. Them wrong. Bang biddly 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 bang. Remember faith is all I know. John nurture it from it tickle and a grow. Me nah no time for sit down in and no time for take no chair. Remember doubtful Thomas never reach nowhere in our life yet. I will heap a time in face, I will heap a disrespect. Turn me eye to the Father, ask him a woman. When I do me ambitious, make them see me as a trick. Me
come shady.
Now go flex me and no crook, now go sell.
Come shady.
Share a year, share my share, someone take. And that's why them life up in a mess. But don't you forget, yeah. Don't let nobody tell you that you cannot make it. Them wrong. Those full lamp on His Majesty.
Highly flavored, good morning to you.
Don't let nobody tell you that you cannot make it. Them wrong. Don't let nobody tell you that you cannot make it. Them wrong.
Sanche, good morning out of Guyana, good morning to you.
Diamonds and the money and pearl. I hope your reggae music keep playing all the world. No matter what the price of the music is nice. Oh, you look a sister and rub it in the eye. Whoa, breathe.
Hey, Prima Donna Bass, come back, good morning. We're seeing. My boy Shady, in a mood this morning, buddy. In a mood.
Morning, bad man.
No. You gotta say it like if you have some here on your chest, man. Come on, man.
Really,
Yes. Put some respect on my name, man. Say it like you have some here on your chest. Going on with you, man. Let me just remind you about something. Hey, hold on. Yeah. Good morning to you, and especially you this morning. Hey, here's a message from Woodsy. Woodsy doing everything, boy. Woodsy doing the dog shading. The alumni of the North Union Secondary School week of activities starting September 24th to the 30th. That the 24th. What happened on September 24th at Woodsy? The day before it's Woodsy birthday bash. Yeah, man. On the 24th, there'll be the Sunday morning church service. And in the evening, there'll be a boat cruise. And that costs $125. On the 25th, the mentorship program, there's absolutely no cost to that. You can just get involved. On the 26th, that's Tuesday, the Moonlight. But that's Moonlight something happening there. That's $100. On the 27th, the Beach River Cup, as you want, Shade and I go into crashing that. We gonna crash that. We are jumping 1, 2, 3. We are jumping one, and all the way up the road we go.
You might need a new clutch when I'm done, but
you driving?
Yeah.
Oh Jesus, Lord, boy. Shady say he driving 1, 2, 3, boy. We might have going 4 and 5. Yeah. On the 29th, Friday the 29th, it's karaoke. That's $50. And on Saturday, the 30th of September, the big gala at Spring Garden Resort, $200. Now you can get the entire package for a price of $500. Yeah, the North Union Secondary School alumni support the bar. Bar will be rock solid. Complimentary drinks are served at each event, so all of them. So make sure and check out the North Union Secondary School Alumni Week of Activities, which starts on the 24th to the 30th. Yeah, and this is coming compliments Woodsy, but giving back right all the way back. Yeah, I tell you what, it's 7 o'clock. You ready to go to the top? We ready to get into the Bacchanal hour? Yeah, we ready to go into the Bacchanal hour. We got some Bacchanal to get in. Merry morning! Mary, you're late this morning. Glenda McIntosh morning. What's the time we're going to have this morning? Well, I ain't looking forward to the Cutlers to come in and talk about toilets. I don't know about you, Shady. Toilets? The man spent a whole hour yesterday of radio time talking about toilets. But we're gonna... we're gonna beat that this morning, alright? Let's go to the top and come right back at 7 o'clock, and that's with Janice and Caribbean. Here we go, Shady, let's go! Let's go, Shady, let's go, let's go, let's go!
Boom 1069 is trending. Blazing on the air at 1069 FM.
What does this button do? Lord, have mercy.
On your phone or device at tunein.com. Or on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Boom SVG 1069. The number one morning show in the SVG.
Morning.
OMG in the morning.
Come on now.
Holiday, today is a holiday. I don't care what nobody say. I'm not going to work today. Holiday, today is a holiday. I don't care what nobody say. I'm not doing no work today. Boss, I'm not coming to work today. I can't see. No, nothing wrong with my eyes. I just can't see myself coming to work today. Thank you. In other words, I'm not doing one brass soul today. Don't tell me about work, I out on the road today. Me and some pretty bitches, I out on the boat today. I don't care what time of day it is, I'm drinking rum today. Boss, I'm not coming to work today. I can't see. No, nothing wrong with my eyes. I just can't see myself coming to work today. Thank you. In other words, I ain't not doing one today. Don't tell me about work, I out on the road today. Me and some pretty, I out on the boat today. I don't care what time of day it is, I'm drinking rum today. Having fun today. Yeah! Holiday, today is a holiday. I don't care what nobody say. I'm not going to work today. Holiday, today is a holiday. I don't care what nobody say. I'm not doing no work today. I'm on the road, yeah. To the beach, yeah. To the club, yeah. Pool party, bus crawl, uptown, yeah. Downtown. If it's your birthday, turn up. Get drunk till your face get numb. When my crew they come around, drinks up and sing along. Holiday, today is a holiday. I don't care what nobody say. I'm not going to work today.
Let's proclaim it! Let's manifest it! We're going to have a damn good day today. Why?
Man where they can go drum in the engine room. It's the vibes in the session when we jam into the steel bun in the engine. Come on, join the line, grab your bottle and spoon. It's a party in the engine room. In the engine room we go jam it steady.
Saturday, shut it down Saturday, shut it down Saturday.
In the meantime, why don't you join the line, grab your bottle and spoon, and come let we party in the engine room.
Watch it, Shady! Tita, don't mess with me now, boy. You know, we have a vagrant partner that is come down from Brooklyn. A vagrant partner. Every year he just get some food stamps and sell them to get some tickets and things. To get some money to buy ticket to come down. My partner, Tita, don't mess with me now. Boy, don't mess with me now. Shady, let me go. In the engine room we going. Boy, Tita, have my mic in a body. Here we go.
The man the iron and the man where they can go drum in the engine room. It's the vibes in the session when we jam into the steel bun in the engine. Come on, join the line, grab your bottle and spoon. It's a party in the engine room. In the engine room we go jam it steady. In the engine room we go get on wassy. In
into that this morning, buddy. Dean Cloud9 not touching that, not me and you and that. Leave me here this morning at Jesus' feet, Dean. Wednesday morning.
The number one morning show in the SVG. Morning. OMG in the morning. Come on now.
Watch me this morning. It's fire. Oh, we like a dragon this morning. We breathing dust this morning. Tita, leave me alone this morning, buddy, or you get it. Anyway, anybody have any food stamps? My partner up there, he needs some really bad. He's driving around with that old car up there. I'm trying to put together something to help him out. My buddy, he need it. He have an old car. Tell him, yo, buddy, send down the car. Let me tie my 2 dogs on them in it now. Oh, let me plant some lettuce in it now. Don't mess with me, Peter. Don't mess with me, boy. Hey, so yesterday morning, we started a discussion on the rape. Let me go again. On the raping of the land. We started discussion where raping is taking over St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Yesterday we started a discussion where rape has now even gone to lands. And when I say land, I mean like real land, like mountain land. I'm expecting a call from Troy, one Troy. Troy, call me, 451-1069. I have somebody who is going to call me from North Leeward and give me an update on what the hell is going on because, well, my partner Julian, we expect to hear from Julian because we know Julian condition. But nobody telling us what is going on with the raping of the lands. The sex that took place in North Leeward in the quarry that had a St. Lucian having an orgasm. Nobody telling us. The government ain't telling us. All the stones that we needed for all these massive projects, all these hotels and all these things, we're not getting them. Nobody telling us if we're going to have to import stones from St. Lucia. So we have a man from North Leeward who's going to call me right now. He is going to call me right now. A man from North Leeward. Yeah? Hold on. He is going to tell us, he is going to be my drone in the sky this morning. You want me to call you, buddy? Shady, come help me call this number here. He is going to be our drone. Select the line. Yeah. And call that number there for me, please. This phone number here. My drone in the sky saying that the government, that nobody at all, not one soul from Prime Minister right down, don't know what is going on with the project, the raping of the lands in North Leeward. Here we go. Engine room in all the tail this morning. Oh, don't mess with me now.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Who am I speaking to, please?
Speaking to Troy.
Troy, you're my drone in the skies this morning. This is a real bad man of radio. Troy, where are you from?
I'm from Chateaubelair.
Chateaubelair, North Leeward, in the heart of the thing. Troy, you know of a project from a St. Lucian company that came into St. Vincent to have sex with the lands in North Leeward. So much sex that they say they're going to have orgasm. I have been trying, I have made calls to several government ministries, to Public Works, to Braxton, and nobody seemed to know and can give me any updates on what is happening in North Leeward with the quarry. Seeing that you are in the area, Troy, can you give us and my dear listeners an update on what is happening on the ground down there in that so-called quote-unquote quarry?
All right, firstly, let me say a pleasant good morning to you, Bing, and to your listeners, whether they avid listeners or if you're just joining the program for the first time. Good morning, and I wish to express thanks to you, Bing, for not putting this issue to rest, because it would appear as if the quarry issue is already to bed and that nobody is really still fighting against it. I will love to say that is not the case. All right. But in regards to operations, I visited. Well, I had to act like a drone for real. Last week, I went and I did a number of live videos on the quarry from a number of different positions.
Send them to me when you're done.
They're on my Facebook page. I could tag you in them, of course. I did one from a bird's eye view where I went on top of a ridge and I was able to overlook the operations and see exactly what is happening. From that view, it would look as if nothing is really happening because all you can see is just large open land space which have been cleared. This is land space that had from root crops to tree crops, including citrus like orange, lime. We had ginger and a whole lot of other crops that were just rudely destroyed by Reno. We all know the story broke when Kenton went and did his investigation, and then he released it showing that Reno walked in and these farmers, without these farmers even knowing that this is going to happen, walk in, destroy crops, destroy vegetables and other food that were there. And then it came to the understanding of the public that what is really happening is that Reno have been given 30 years to rape the lands of North Leeward for stone. And now it appears that it's not just for stone, but for food and other means in which you can possibly make an income.
Okay, Troy, hold on. Let me put it into context now. So you went and you saw. What exactly is happening there right now?
Okay, they are still clearing land, all right?
Still clearing land?
Yes. It is not an easy task they have when it comes to reaching their target, which would be the stones that are there. You understand? The amount of vegetation that they need to get rid of, the amount of topsoil that they need to remove. This is why it would appear as if nothing is happening, because the group North Leeward Heritage Preservation Front, it's been a while since they did something in the public, but they have been having meetings, still seeking the help and assistance from more knowledgeable ones in regards to what is the best possible way to go forward fighting this project. But one has to remember that this is not a 1 or a 10-year project. This is a project that has 30 years lifespan earmarked over it. You understand? So the group is still searching for ways to fight the project. And one may say, okay, nothing is happening now. But in Richmond, Bing, they are still clearing the land based on what I saw.
How many equipment are they presently clearing lands?
The last time I went there, there was one excavator down by the bayside, and then there are a number of big heavy equipment trucks there clearing land. So
they're digging into the mountain still?
Yes.
Okay. And the material that they're taking out of the mountain, what are they doing with it?
It looks like they are dumping some of that stuff on the river, because
on which river?
Richmond River. There's a river that runs just below the quarry operation, And what I saw as well, Bing, is that they have large heap of stones that would appear as if they got these from the mountain, but that is not the case. These stones were taken out of a river. I'm not sure if it's the river just below the quarry operations, but they have large heap of stones there. I'm supposing that they are waiting to cross those stones, but those stones came from the river.
What evidence do you have that these stones came from the river?
Being as a youth man growing up in Chateaubelair, one of the things that I had to do was to go in that same river and throw out stones with my grandmother. I know river stone, and I could tell you river stone. I know exactly what they look like. And there's no evidence of any blasting taking place from there. So those were river stones.
So Troy, you're confident that so far that they've not gotten any stones at all out of the so-called quote-unquote quarry?
None. They are still removing the mountain. It's not an easy task to remove the amount of topsoil that they have to remove and relocate that topsoil. It's not an easy task, you understand? So they are still doing that, and it looks, as I said, it looks like they are throwing stuff in the river. That way they can get rid of some of the trees and other debris that they have to get rid of to make sure that the operations run smoothly. But things are happening even though this project is still yet to produce an EIA to show the people of North Leeward how this project is going to impact the environment in the long term and in the short term. Things are happening even though the North Leeward Heritage Preservation Front and other conservation groups express their disinterest in such a project given the times that we are living in. You understand? Things are happening even though other farmers and businesses have been put out of a job because of this quarry operations. And it just appears to me that nobody cares about what is happening in Richmond. That's from the government side. It appears to me as if there is no farm of anyone who's checking and making
So there are no environmental specialists on the ground while they remove these topsoil. That's what you're saying.
I can't see if any of the guys that I saw there are environmental specialists, but from my observation, it looks like just workers there to drive the equipment and carry out the groundwork, like security purposes and all those things.
How many truckloads of topsoil would you say would have been removed so far from your visual standpoint?
I mean, I'm not an expert when it comes to this, but from the very first piece of mountain that they started moving, they have gone into like almost half of that mountain top being removed completely. You understand?
So in terms of truckloads, how many truckloads that would be? In terms of someone who don't know that mountain?
That would be about...
Approximately.
If I'm using those big trucks that I see them there, that would be hundreds of truckload, man. Hundreds.
Oh. And you said that they're placing these topsoil on the riverbanks?
Well, I was on the ground there when one of the trucks had to dump out some stuff, and the road which it took, it went down by the riverside, which clearly shows that it's definitely dumping some of these stuff in the river.
Have you gone into the project site at all? Have you walked into the project site?
This might get me in trouble, being I did trespass somewhat.
And what did you see? What did you feel on the ground when you went there? What was the observations?
I observed the same concerns that we expressed in regards to the quarry operations taking place. The amount of dust that you could see and the vegetation close by. The noise, of course, from this heavy equipment. I observed how the rivers are dry from there in Richmond. And you could see that the runoff from the quarry, maybe they are being spared now because we don't have load of rain. But whenever the load of rain starts being, there's a clear drain that I saw from the road that they use to transport the equipment and other stuff. that drain is running all the way into one of the rivers that is right there. So clearly, they are not managing the runoff from this operation properly as well. And it's just like nobody cares in regards to what Reno wants to do in Richmond as long as he gets his stone. Nobody cares about the environment and how the people of North Leeward choose to survive or live. Once Reno continue his operation and get his stuff, that's all they concerned about.
Okay, let's talk about the fishing industry, the fishing, not the industry, but what, I know that there was some fishing that used to be done in that area. With the soil being placed in the river banks, or you say in the river, I would hate to think that it's being placed in the river itself, and that's coming down. How is that affecting the environmental area?
I've been back in St. Vincent for over 2 months now, and in that 2 months, I haven't heard a conch shell blow in North Leeward to come look for fish. I've seen like only 2 times a sailing boat on top of the seawater so that they're going to look for fish. There's no fish right now in North Leeward, and this is not me exaggerating. Even the businesses in North Leeward will tell you that they cannot get fish to buy. I'm not saying that this is just because of the project, but the whole economy in terms of the fishing industry and everything in North Leeward, it is just dead. You understand? So this impact from this project is only going to make it even worse for us when it comes to being able to get fish and treachery. It was just about last week, treachery was scheduled to come. If we get 10 buckets for treachery, go to North Leeward, they get plenty.
Are you serious?
And that one of the main rivers in which the treachery will normally come up, that's one of the rivers that is dry and blacked up.
Well, have you seen any government officials at all? Anyone, any vehicle from Braxton, anyone from the Ministry of Agriculture, anyone at all in the area since you've been?
None, zero.
So do you know if anyone is monitoring what is taking place there?
I would love to believe that no one is doing such. If anyone is doing such, they may have been employed by Reno. But from the government standpoint, I don't think that anyone is making a check to see exactly what is happening around there in Richmond.
From your knowledge of the mountain and from your knowledge of the area, because you've lived in North Leeward for all of your life, you're born there, how much more work, how much more topsoil will have to be removed? I mean, I know you would, the scientists in that area, right? From your knowledge, from what you've seen removed so far, and you said that you trespassed, you went on to the quarry site and all that. How much more topsoil will have to be removed before you think this is your opinion, your observation, you know? And I'm not asking you from a scientific standpoint, right? How much more will have to be removed before there can be stone that can give this orgasm?
There's still a lot topsoil needs to be removed. Metric tons of topsoil that still need to be removed because this is just only one part of the mountain that they have already started eating into with some, some success, you understand? But even still that part is just like halfway in. This is a mountain that they're moving in they're moving a mountain, you understand? So it's gonna take them like another year or so to really get rid of all the topsoil if they continue walking in the vein in which they are walking. It's still a lot of work they have to do around there in North Leeward to get the stone that they are claiming that they are going after.
And how often is the work taking place? Is it every Monday to Friday, Monday to Thursday, every day? Do you know?
It looks like a daily operation.
Oh, you're part of an organization, you said. What are your main concerns of this organization with regards to what is taking place there with that project, Troy?
What are you talking about? The objective of the organization?
Yes. And what are your main concerns? Objectives and main concerns?
Our main concern started when it comes to the disrespect and the complete ignoring of the people of North Leeward when it comes to this project, you know. We didn't take it lightly, the fact that we were not told about this project. We feel as if we are being disrespected and that nobody really cares about us when it comes to this project, because if there are prerequisite studies that need to be done, if you're going to have such a project in such a community where people live and thrive, and these studies haven't been done, and you have the government as well as the investor lying about a study that was done in the past being used for this one, it shows that nobody really cares. They are disrespectful, and that it's as if they are bringing death on the people of North Leeward, because North Leeward predominantly, we depend on the sea, the river, as well as the land. And then for you to take farmers out of their livelihood without compensating them justly, because I could tell you that a number of the farmers did receive money, but little are nothing. And I'm not sure if they thought that what they received would have lasted for the 40 years, that they was going to be making millions of dollars in North Leeward. But this set load, they took it, and it's as if they don't really care. And I'm telling you, Bing, if 5% of them have been relocated to new lands, that's a lot. So they are still down there waiting and hoping that the promises that were made by the Prime Minister when he visited North Leeward, that he would follow up on them. So the group is really concerned that the environmental impact assessment study still isn't being done to show how this quarry is going to impact the livelihood of North Leeward. And we are hoping that one day the government would at least listen to us and do the right thing.
What about consultation with the representative for the area? What is he saying? And by the way, Stephen just walked in, okay?
We have to, if people didn't know, I remind you that our representative, before he even spoke to the people of North Leeward in regards to this project, and this is from his mouth, he went to St. Lucia Falls to see how Reno operates in terms of his modus operandi when it comes to doing business. He liked it. He signed off on that even before coming to North Leeward and make a consultation. And what they did is not even a consultation. They came in, Carlos as well as Soboto, and they called the farmers and other people of North Leeward, and it was just they telling us. It's not a consultation if you are there and you are telling us. You are not asking us. You're telling us exactly what is happening, why it is happening, and you don't even care about our concerns. The representatives has not made an address to the people of North Leeward in regards to this quarry project and how it is going to impact our lives and livelihood until now. The representative never met with the North Leeward Heritage Preservation Front to listen to our concerns and comments in regards to this project.
Troy, it was said that this project will bring economic values and to the area, to North Leeward, that money will be spent and all of that because of this project. Is that happening? Money being spent? Is it trickling down? People, workers going to shops, spending money because of the quarry and all of that? What's happening where that is concerned?
Being there are a few workers there from North Leeward who look as if they are employed with Reno. That would be money going into their pocket because they have a job. There are a number of houses that the overseas workers are renting. That would be money going back into people's pockets from rent. Apart from that, I don't see how anyone else is benefiting from this project in North Leeward. The farmers, like I said, they are still out of a land to farm. Being the whole general feeling in North Leeward, and this is why a lot of people in North Leeward isn't behind the fight against the quarry. People right now, and this is not me exaggerating, I'm saying how I see things. People right now are only concerned with surviving. You understand? So they don't even have the time right now to spare to deal with issues like these because things are so hard in North Leeward. Being I tell you, we depend on fishing and farming. I haven't heard a conch shell in over 2 months in North Leeward. So these fishermen over the years who depend on fishing, how are they making a living now? You would hardly see markets in Natley what you see farm producers out there selling on a Saturday or a Friday evening so that people can get some money to eat some food on a Sunday. People are just caught up with surviving, and that's the only thing they have time for right now in Natley.
Wow. Carlos. Oh, hold on. Unmute his mic.
Likes to say, what is the solution? What's the how does this get fixed?
Yes.
Can you repeat that for me, please? Steve?
Yeah, sure. Sorry, buddy. Good to hear from you, by the way. I said because I saw what I thought is a really horrific thing when I drove down there. It's really ugly and a serious scar and a blight in the environment. So let's hope that the benefits will definitely be worth it at some point. The question I have for you is there what's the solution? What do we do next here? What happens with this? What would you like to see happen?
What we would like to see happen is what should have happened earlier. You know, we are really concerned that they still haven't done the environmental impact assessment study to show how this project is going to impact the people of Natley. So if this study can be done, we would definitely welcome it if it has to be welcomed based on the outcome, and fight it if it has to be fought based on the outcome. And mostly, we would have loved for those lands to remain with the farmers, because we used to get with ginger, we used to get with lime, with oranges, and all those other important citrus fruit from those lands. Farmers were in a job. Families were being supported because their husband, the wife, the boyfriend, they used to bring in a little money now and then. The fishery catching industry, they were making money because the rivers were healthy, flowing whenever they need. They have to flow. And we would love for those lands to return with the farmers, and Renew and the government definitely compensate us for the misery that they have been putting us through in that leeward over the last 2 years.
Misery in terms of what? What exactly do you mean?
Loss of livelihood, loss of jobs. You know, the effect of the quarry and the environment.
The dust and all of that.
Whenever you hear this mountain that I tell you that they are almost halfway through. Whenever they finish tearing that down, the community of Petunias, I'm telling you, they would see what we have been warning them about when it comes to this quarry and the project. The heat that we are experiencing right now, whenever that mountain top is removed, it's going to be even more hotter in Petunias, because the forest reserve that was up there that you would depend on to bring in some cool breeze, that is now gone, and it's just open ground space that they have to use to set up the crushing plant.
I went down there a few months ago, right? And the pictures and the videos and all of that don't do it justice, huh? It's quite a shock to your system when you see what has been done down there. And I would urge every Vincentian, if they get the opportunity, to go down there and actually see for themselves, you know, what has been done, and make that judgment for themselves in terms of, because it really is, it's a scar. In my view, it's a really horrific thing. That's why I'd like to know where are the benefits, because if you're giving up something like that, that's valuable to a society and to a community and to several communities in that area. What, you know, Jomo was talking about yesterday, and I've always said that. What are the goals again? What is the objective? What are the benefits that will rebound to the country and to the communities that are being impacted by this environmental blight? Because that's what it is. So again, you've got to see it to really, it's a shock. My God, really? That's what they're doing? It's a bit of a shock to the system when you see it with your own eyes.
And you know what? It is the most highlighted thing whenever you're visiting Leeward. Whenever you go around Richmond, you cannot miss it. And I journeyed up to La Soufrière on the weekend, and even as far up on La Soufrière, you can see the operation and say, wow, look at all that dirt that is there exposed right there in Leeward. You understand? So Richmond, over the years, people would visit Richmond for picnics. And Independence Day, people would come down to celebration. With that operation happening big, and all the dust and runoff from the river that is going to make the seawater dirty and all these things. People would eventually stop going to Richmond because there is no joy in going to Richmond.
Yeah.
And I'm not here creating fear or alarm, but you know what I fear most? I fear that in the next 5 to 10 years, we may not have the Richmond Vale Academic School operating there in Richmond.
Because it's basically right above them. By the way, I also, speaking of North Leeward tour, as I said, I went down a few months. I sent you guys pictures on whatever. And I went to Darkview Falls, which I hadn't been to in a lot of years. And again, a spectacularly beautiful part of SVG that once again is being neglected. Right? Simple things like there's 2 different falls.
Right.
You can't really walk up to the second one, or you shouldn't, because it's very dangerous. Simple things like rotten handrails. There's no support.
Yeah.
It's dangerous. These are simple things to fix, and you wonder why. You know, maybe we could ask the MP for that area. Carlos, why? Who happens to be the Minister of Tourism? Why is something this simple that would probably cost less than $100,000, probably cost less than what it's costing you to put up that quote-unquote bus stop that can't seem to get finished outside Mariners Inn? Why is it that you can't get something like that simple done? What's the story here?
I'll tell you guys. I wrote an article a few months ago called Bare Minimum. This is what these people have been given North Leeward over the years. Bare minimum. And they think that they are doing us the wall of good. If they go and they fix the handrail, you would see they take pictures and put it up to say, Rockstar do this, this do that. Bare minimum.
Try, let me just get straight to the point. Do you know, can you speak factually if there are stones in that area?
There are stones there, Bing.
Yeah. But, Troy, sorry 1 second, but when I saw it, right, what shocked me is that the amount of digging that they had dug out.
Right.
Before we saw some stones towards the bottom end of the hill. And I'm wondering, are they taking on that whole hill to try and find what stones they are? And did they not do proper geological studies to identify where and how deep they would have to do to find the stones?
And that's the concern that we share that in the North Leeward Heritage Preservation Front. There's stone there, Bing, but the amount of topsoil that needs to be removed in comparison to the stone, does it warrant it?
Troy, where they put in the topsoil that they're digging off with the huge bulldozer things? Where they put in all of that dirt?
It looks like they are storing some on site, and the rest they just throw in the rivers nearby.
Oh my God!
I went there last week. I did a live on the site, and that's what I saw: the truck dumping stuff by the riverside.
All right.
And then foolishly, Mr. Carlos James is telling us that they're going to store the topsoil somewhere, and once the project is finished, they're going to bring back the topsoil and put it back to what use that.
Did you really hear him say that? No, I don't believe.
Yeah,
I don't believe the minister said that. That after the project, they're gonna bring back the topsoil and put it back.
Yes. Yes.
He didn't say that, Troy. You're exaggerating there. He didn't say that.
Troy lying again. You see all you liars, all you just want to make Lever look bad.
So Troy, based on your evaluation, how much work, how much months, weeks, days, or years it will take before they can get to the orgasm?
The stone.
They could start blasting maybe by next year if they really walk in the manner in which they are walking now in regards to.
But Troy, let me ask you a question again.
Every single day.
Troy, let me interrupt you 1 second, because again, you have to visualize this thing. It's like a mountain or a hillside, right?
Yeah.
And on one side it's beautiful and green and so on. And when you drive up past it, right? When you drive sort of go around the steep corner and come up the other side, you realize this hill is still magnificent and beautiful.
Yeah.
I presume that side, I mean, you can't do one side of a hill without taking down that whole area, correct? The whole top of that hill?
That's the side I'm talking about, yeah.
Okay, that still has to come down. So they have a long way to go still.
And what about the residents in the area, Troy? Because Mr. Reno said that they will not be affected by the dust. They have some system in place where the dust will not affect the community and all that. Is that happening?
Well, at the moment, to say that the dust is coming over into Fitzhugh, it's not happening just yet. Like I said, that same piece of hill that we're talking about, Stephen, once that is gone,
yes,
then that opens up Fitzhugh to
absolutely
everything that's coming out of Richmond.
Correct.
Once they get rid of that, we would see whether they can manage the daughter
Yes.
or not.
Yeah, that's acting like a barrier now, if you
Okay,
like.
okay.
Yeah.
And what's happening with the Richmond Vale Academy?
Well, the concerns that, remember, this is a school that focuses on the environment.
Yeah.
And if you have a quarry right next door that, of course, goes against the environment,
Yep.
it's a conflict of interest right there for Richmond Vale Academy.
Yep.
And
Right in
who's
their
going
face.
to pay thousands of dollars to come there in Richmond Vale to look at such a devastating effect on the economy? What kind of motivation is that going to give you? And then these people are even being threatened in regards to the lands that they have there in Richmond to use for their schooling.
Troy, thank you for calling in.
Yes.
It's been very informative, I think, for a lot of people, and I want to urge people to take a drive down there and see for themselves. Huh? You know,
Yeah,
we have
I
trouble coming
wish-
up in a few minutes too.
I wish to say thank you to Bing as well, because too many a times issues like these are for 9 days and then they get swept under the rug. So thank you, Bing, for keeping it alive.
No, don't compliment Bing. That's not necessary. Thank Boom FM for parting you, not Bing. This has nothing to do with Bing. He's a horrible
Troy,
human
thank the
being.
red man. Thank
He's
the
a horrible
red
human-
man.
he's a horrible human being.
Is it the red man you are?
Troy, stay away from red. You hear? Better red than dead. Troy, thanks.
Troy, I want you to keep us in keep
Yeah,
us
keep us
in
in
touch
the
with
loop.
what's
Yeah.
happening, what's going on. Okay, you've got my number. Please reach out and keep us up to date with what's happening there. All right.
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Troy.
Thanks,
I
Troy.
really
Appreciate the call.
it.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
So Bing, to change topics slightly, I had a wonderful evening last night, myself and my toilet, my smart toilet.
Oh, gosh.
It was wonderful, so I want to let you know that you're missing out a hell of
Oh,
an
my
experience.
goodness
Shady, you too,
gracious.
buddy. You all are missing out, huh?
this
You know what it's
toilet
like to feel nice and
I
clean
feel
and
you have
wonderful
shades in this
after
toilet company.
after you have done all. You could
I'm
go on
going to start-
Amazon.
I'm like, Shady, let us start. Let us.
They ain't
let
get me
us-
none.
Let us start billing him for
But
this
I
toilet thing.
wanted to go to something more serious
yeah,
before,
oh,
please,
let-
because I wouldn't get a chance. I'm not going to get a chance.
Okay,
otherwise.
let's call it this way.
Because
call it.
Jomo's coming.
6 is 10 seconds. Call her quickly.
Steven?
Yes,
no,
sir.
No. I can take some of Jomo time. Jomo won't mind.
No, you can't do that. You can't do that. Call back after. Best you call back after. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Bonestein there. Yeah.
I
go ahead.
wanted to take this opportunity to talk about the National Lottery this morning. I want to take a couple of minutes before Jomo comes on to talk about the National Lottery and its impact on sports and culture in our country and its decision-making system. I was going to come in here and rant and rave and cuss and carry on, right? So that once again they could put my picture on the front of a newspaper with Papa spanking me. Because you know Papa likes to spank me, right?
I don't know who's Papa.
But I'm now 61 years old, so if Papa needs to spank me, he have to do what he have to do. I really don't care anymore, but I'm 61 years old. You know, you get fed up of certain times. I'm fed up of gross incompetence. I'm just fed up. So, the Swimming Federation, one of the most successful, if not the single most successful sporting organization in this country over the last 11 years. The organization that has won more medals at the OECS and Carifta level than any other sport in this country, with one small 6-lane pool. That was built and funded largely by fundraising, private fundraising done by the members of that organization. The organization that has won Carifta medals for 9 straight Cariftas, because there were 2 excluded. That the only sporting organization, I believe, that has achieved these wonderful feats. Every year we write to the National Lottery to ask for support. Every year we do what we are supposed to. And the process is you're supposed to write to the National Sports Council, which we do. We not only write to the National Sports Council, we copy the Prime Minister, we copy the Minister of Finance, we copy the Minister of Sports, we copy the Chairman of the National Lottery, my friend Murray Bullock, we copy McGregor Seeley, the General Manager of the Lottery. Last year the disaster was a disaster. Basically, every time over the years I've had to do it, call the Prime Minister. Why do I have to call the Prime Minister? Right? Basically, we ask for funding for about half of whatever the cost is. To go to the OECS is going to cost us about $80,000. Right? We asked for $40,000. Okay? Last year, we got no response and we got nothing. Before Carifta, we used to get money, a little help for Carifta, a little help for OECS. It has now stopped. Last year, right, we went through the same hassle, got nothing from them, right, nothing. So I said this year, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to appoint a Labour man to head the OECS subcommittee. I'm not going to call his name because I don't want to embarrass him, right? So he couldn't be, I don't think he honestly believed what is happening in this country. So I got my labor man to say, you're the head of the fundraising committee for the OECS. You write to the lottery. You put your name on it. Right? So he did all of that. He did everything right. He calls the national. First of all, this is submitted months ago. This is submitted months and months ago because we know when OECS is, and I don't believe in seeking last minute help. Right? We give them months and at least 4, 5, 6 months.
Come, so we give you back your time, okay?
Yeah, Jomo, just give me 1 second, please. Thank you, Jomo. Right? So we then. But we get no response, of course, which we never do. The National Lottery doesn't reply to people. We are not worthy of being replied to. Murray Bullock is somebody who I know very well. He never picks up the phone and calls me. McGregor Seeley is a man I know very, very well. He doesn't pick up the phone and call me and say, we got the letter. Instead, months later now, when Brian follows up, they say, oh, they never got the letter. Oh, did you get the letter from the National Sports Council? Because what the National Sports Council does after they get your request, they evaluate it and they forward it on to the lottery and advise them what to do. Sports Council supported our request and did their job and sent it on to the National Lottery. The National Lottery denied getting our letter, denied getting our letter from Sports Council, also in support of us, right? And the letter was very clear. We would like to have about $40,000, please, which is about half the amount of money. Okay? Right. So they didn't get the letter. So the gentleman calls the lottery. Oh, how much money you really want? It's in the letter. It's in the letter. Right? Oh, well, maybe we could give you about $15,000. Right? Maybe. All right? But we have to go to the board for that. What that really means is call Ralph. Why is it, Dr. Gonsalves?
You can't say that.
Ralph, you could call me anytime. Prime Minister, you could call me anytime. Cuss me, do whatever you like. But this is clearly gross incompetence on somebody's part. Because it is a lie. I do not believe you didn't get the letters. I don't believe that for a second. The Prime Minister, I'm sure, got his copy. Why is it that I have to call Ralph Gonsalves, the Prime Minister of this country, to get some support for a legitimate activity to a very successful sport in this country? Why is that, Prime Minister? Why is it, Mr. Minister of Finance, who I believe the lottery falls under? Murray Bullock, McGregor Seeley, what are you all doing here? You need to do better, please. This is not good enough. And you think in the past when they gave me a rough time, they were trying to hurt Stephen, joking because I said, you ain't hurting me, I could afford to pay for my children. What you're hurting is, again, the poorer people who now have to pay for their own kids to go. And so you're not even helping them by giving them a little subsidy to help them out. So I want to raise this, and I'm going to keep hammering it. So, I mean, if Ralph is going to come after me again, as he did before when I asked about accountability at the airport, and then the callers will call in and say, Ralph, shut you up again. Remember those days, right? If we're going down that road again, let's go. If I have to lose my job because I'm bringing things to the attention of the public that I think need to be brought, do what you have to do. But I am fed up now, Bing. I'm 61 years old. My children are no longer living in St. Vincent. I am fed up. We need to do better, please. Right? That's the extent of my rant. Let's go to Jomo.
Wow. Bring it, Shady. One time. Wow. Yeah, StreamYard is already up. Bring it. Whoa.
Plain Talk. Plain Talk with Jomo Thomas.
So much things to say right now.
All you talk now.
On OMG.
Bring him forward, please.
I like to be here.
Council, good morning to you. Shady, take out yourself, please.
I want to see your face.
Yes, you don't need to be in here.
You don't think Shady's better than Jomo?
Shady don't want to be spanked.
I prefer to watch Shady than I watch Jomo. Let's ask the call.
So good morning to you. Good morning. Sorry for
good morning, Stephen. Good morning, Shady. Most of all, good morning to your listeners.
Good morning. Are you hearing us?
Yes, I'm hearing you clearly.
Yes.
You're not hearing me?
What you did yesterday, please.
You have to get Jomo back up and running again. Yeah.
You look like you threw
So, no, I'm just, what is it, Bing? Why is it that we are in a country where it seems you have to go to the Prime Minister for every single thing? Is that the way he wants it, or is it the way the people below him feel intimidated or incapable of making decisions? Which is it? It'd be interesting to know. What is really happening here? Why can't the people you appoint to boards and the people you appoint as managers, why is it that they feel they cannot make decisions? Sorry, Jomo, you're up?
Yeah, but
I am here. I don't know if you're hearing me.
Could you go out and come back in because you
have to refresh you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not hearing you. We see you. You're shitty. Check the levels.
The volumes there and so on. Okay, right.
Yeah. Hold on, like,
but we do have to,
please.
These are important things about how you're running a country. Because if this is what you're doing with the National Lottery, when you refuse to give, I mean, if you don't want to give us the money, just tell us so. And you could have told us 3 months ago so we could go and raise the money somewhere else. Just tell us, no, we're not giving you the money. That's all. I can handle that. You can decide that if you want. That is your decision. It's not my money. It's the taxpayers' money and the National Lottery gamers' money who contributed to the National Lottery. And, if that's what it is and you say you don't have the money to give us, I can live with that. Okay, but don't just not respond.
Kong, sir, are you there? You there? We're seeing you. Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Yes.
Yes.
Welcome to the Bacchanal this morning.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, Joe.
We're hearing
yes,
you
we
loud and clear. Yes, we are.
Very well. Notice that I'm wearing my red shirt this morning, huh? So
Back to the Future.
Stephen, watch yourself.
The prodigal son has returned.
Look,
back to the fold.
Stephen.
Yes, sir.
A lot of times we mischaracterize things in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, What you're describing there is not incompetence. Think about it. You copy Prime Minister, you copy Minister of Finance. You send the letter to Sport Council. You copied Lottery Chairman, you copied the General Manager. And then the people who should make the decision tells you that they didn't get the letter.
Yep.
How is that incompetence?
I'm trying to be nice. What would you term it as?
Huh? Policy.
What word would you use to describe that?
Policy.
I'm being nice by saying incompetent. I don't know what else it could be.
Policy, Stephen. Policy.
It's a policy. Oh.
Yes.
Wow. That makes it far worse in my view.
Of course it is. Because if you describe, as you describe, young people making a mark in their own physical development,
yep,
but certainly contributing to the good name of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Yep.
And you can't get that done. But you decided to throw a fit so that the leader of the country can get a chance to speak to an audience, and you spend $1 million to do that in one drop. $1 million, but you can't contribute $40,000 to an athletic organization in St. Vincent. It has to be policy. Oscar Allen used to say that sometimes we blame the leader because we think the leader give the directive. But Oscar says, because we are progeny of enslaved societies,
yep,
sometimes we act in ways that we think Master would want us to act.
Yep, well said.
Remember Malcolm X used to say, the house slave, when Master was ill, the house slave used to ask, Master, we sick? The field slave, on the other hand, if the master house was on fire, the field slave says, let's hope there's no water. So, I mean, it's unfortunate that we have gotten to this point, and I made that characterization to make this point, that a lot of times, because we are so into a situation where professionals or supposed professionals are so smothered in their decision-making processes, they tend to think that if a decision has to be made, that decision must be made by a particular individual or a particular set of individuals. And if you understand what has happened over the years in St. Vincent, the decision about everything and anything is made at the top. Can you think of any promotion of any significance in St. Vincent and the Grenadines where the Prime Minister did not have his hand in it? Can you think of any?
None that I'm aware of.
I can't think of any, because that's his style. it's not by chance that after 23 years, if there's a feature address to be made, the Prime Minister makes the feature address.
Yes.
Because he's the 800-pound gorilla. He's the font of wisdom. He speaks on everything. He makes decisions on everything. And it's really tragic what you are talking about, but it comes across in so many different ways as hampering at its very core the advancement and development of the society.
Jomo, I want to go back to what you said earlier.
What can be worse? What can be, I mean, we talk about, we celebrate these days that students going now and taking 20 and 30 CXC subjects.
Yeah.
And we say, wow, Stephen Brighter, Stephen's son Bright boy. She takes 30 subjects and she passed 29 with 29 ones and 1 2.
Yep.
And we say she's brilliant. And then put her in another setting. In other words, we are celebrating quantity,
Jomo,
over quality. Yes,
Jomo,
sir.
I would like you to step back again because you started down a road that I think you should elaborate on. And that's the whole concept of a mental enslavement and where we are as a people. And too many of us who are mentally enslaved to massa. Right? And I would like you to develop that a little bit more because I think it's an important
there's so much there.
In the mirror, because many of us don't look in the mirror and see what's really going on.
Take for example, when the Prime Minister was talking about the NIS.
Yes.
You all may remember he said he warned the CEO, Mr. Stuart Haynes, about talking to the opposition.
Yep.
And then he said, but Mr. Haynes had to come back and tell me what he said.
Yep.
Now, if I am a CEO of an organization, the Prime Minister can't call me and demand that I tell him what a major stakeholder, in this case, opposition forces, ask or talk about. My responsibility is to the board of directors of that institution. And if one of the directors want to carry it back to him.
Chairman, that's his business at that point. Because
right, that's their business.
Yes.
But the policy is that what? I will call him in to tell me what my quote-unquote adversaries said, what their positions were, what their policies, suggestions for policy changes were.
Yeah.
So we have professionals who are well-trained in many instances.
Yeah, technically well-trained.
Technically, yes, but they don't have the testicular fortitude to stand up. I'll give another example to prove the point. When the vote of no confidence came up,
right,
I was of the view that we must allow for a debate. Right? That was my view. And if those people who were listening remember, I had insisted that we should allow for a debate. I was lobbied hard by the Prime Minister and at least one of the senior member of the party to have me entertain a vote as to whether there should be a debate. Because if you read the Constitution closely, you may think that the governing party could entertain a vote as to whether there should be a debate. And I mean, heavy pressure the night before on the morning of the sitting. And I insisted that, look, I'm not going to do that. We are going to have a debate. Where I went wrong is we haven't decided that we are going to have a debate. I allowed them to amend the resolution.
Motion. Yep.
But the motion. But fundamentally, I understood instinctively that I'm not going to respond to that pressure and I'm going to allow the debate. I'm not sure that a lot of us think that we can stand up and deal with power in that way. Because all too often, we think that, boy, my job depends on you. Remember you said that earlier they would threaten you and, put pressure on you. Don't come and talk nothing about the airport. Otherwise, we would put pressure. We would want you to lose your job and so on and so forth. And so many people are constrained by that because they have to now say, well, how am I going to deal with this? How am I going to deal with that? How am I going to send my children to private school?
How do I pay my mortgage? How do I?
How am I going to pay the mortgage? How am I going to? Some people at the most basic level. How am I going to buy food?
Yeah.
And when you have those kind of pressures, I mean, I have, and Stephen, to tell you the truth, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I lived in the United States, I always thought about coming back to St. Vincent. So I did my first degree, then I did my second degree, the master's degree. And then I got admitted to Columbia to do a PhD. And I wanted to do the PhD in international economics. And then I said to myself, but boy, you want to go back to the Caribbean. I'm talking here now, 1990, around there, right? And I am saying, boy, you want to go back to the Caribbean? Sure, you want to go back to the Caribbean and be at the St. Vincent and be the poor, poverty-stricken Dr. Jomo Sanga. And that's when I made the decision to do law. Because at least I thought, had I gone back to St. Vincent to do law, I could set up my shingle and hope that Stephen would come in and hope that Bing would come in. So I might at least I might get to eat some mangoes and some okras and so on. I mean, I'd get rich, but
survive.
I would survive. And in fact, when I came back to St. Vincent and I started to practice after they fired me from the SAFE, and I went to Trinidad and got my LEC and started to practice, high government forces, it came back to me in more than one way, said they would see to it that I have to leave St. Vincent and go back to America. They would see to it that I don't make a living here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So that's the kind of pressure that people
are under.
And Lord, that's not the way we're gonna do a society and make it develop.
Yeah.
But if you don't have the strength, or if you don't have a certain level of economic independence, or you don't believe that you can go any place else. Because here you can go St. Lucia, you can go Trinidad, you can go Guyana, you can go any place.
Guys, let me just pause. Let me just pause. Sorry, I have to pause you in midway. We got to do a station ID at the top. Let's do this and come right back. All right, Shady? Let's go to the top, Kong. So just hang there. And still, let's go to the top and come right back. Station ID. All right, let's do this. Yeah, it's 8 o'clock in SVG. Just gone past 8 o'clock, as a matter of fact, in SVG at Eastern Caribbean. Let's do this and come right back. Shady, let's go.
Boom 106.9 is trending. Blazing on the air at 106.9 FM.
What does this button do? Lord, have mercy.
On your phone or device at tunein.com. Or on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Boom SVG 1069.
The number one morning show in the SVG. OMG in the morning.
Come on now.
Father, protect me from all of them. Why you think me build more now? So me no need nobody hard again. All people when me call me friend, them want to see God. Father, please, if me ever fall, me I beg you say help me up and guide me make me walk again. You no need to do them nothing at all. Them just want hear say you're right off in your car and then. Father, please, beg you let me know who are really my friends and my foes. You no need to pretend that's must. Come and see the evil in them and it show. Father, please, beg you guide me steps. When me in the street on the road, hey, Father God, like how me and you a friend, make reason now. There's something going on. Father, why me feel like nobody no love me? Would I really leave the place or would I run away? Better me go a space just for something, me just feel like Father, why me love that girl and she not love me? Oh God, know that. Really pop up and run away. Me just feel like say nobody no love me. Me I tell her say
With the real Bad Big and DJ Shady.
All right, let's continue, Council. Remember we got a promotional interview coming up. It won't be too long, but we gotta cut.
No. You gotta do your thing. Whenever you say that we stop, we stop.
Yeah. All right. Continue, guys. Yeah.
But Stephen, so those are the kind of heavy issues that I think come down. So when your organization, who is the face of that organization? Who is the face of the swimming organization?
Yep, correct. Unfortunately, it's me.
Right. And if people think that you are not singing a particular road march tune, that St. Vincent is doing heavenly.
Yes.
Then you or anything that you are attached to may have problems.
Correct. Yeah, absolutely correct about that. I agree with you.
So that's where we are in St. Vincent, and that's why I'm saying, that's why I've said time and time again that we have to break the spell.
Yeah. Well, Jomo Bing was asking a question when we took our little break there, right? He said, is it a consequence of the PM dictating on down to people by micromanaging, or is it a consequence of the people below him trying desperately to do what they think he wants?
I think it's both. I think it's both. I think it's both. And the evidence is there. NC Marks has a poem. I don't know if you had a chance to read her book of poetry called Children of the Ash, Stephen.
Oh yeah, brilliant, my friend, brilliant. She's
excellent,
a brilliant lady.
Excellent. I mean, this is
brilliant. She writes well.
She writes really well. She had one of the poems is called Minister of Everything.
Yep, correct. I remember that.
And she captures essentially everything that takes place in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Yep.
If you anything of note, if we have some advancement in agriculture, you're going to be sure that the Prime Minister is.
Jomo, since you mentioned that book, I believe it's for sale on Amazon and so on too, and we'd like to encourage all those people in the diaspora.
Oh yeah, man!
A copy of that book and read it. It's highly entertaining. It's easy to read, and it hits at the heart.
We hear it all the time. We hear the people who would we see the messages that will come through. We hear the calls who will call, and they think they want to do what the Prime Minister wants them to do. Right. And also on the flip side, whenever you hear the Prime Minister speak, you hear him say, well, I wanted to build a school there, so and I wanted to do this, and I wanted, and you never see the ministers really who with the responsibility coming out.
But the ministers don't get the chance. The ministers are smothered. And that is why you have that.
You be strong. You were elected. Just the Prime Minister.
Yeah, I agree with that. For example, right? You think I could have been in a cabinet, and I am Minister of Education, and the Prime Minister tells me, you know what? I'm gonna chop off part of education. I'm gonna take tertiary education.
Yeah, I didn't understand that one at all.
Come on,
I totally disagree with that.
You gotta be Sloven. To allow that to happen.
Yep.
But you know, the other thing,
take for example, after 9 years,
take for example somebody as the Commissioner of Police, right? You have an investigation going on with one of your numbers. You don't make the decision as to who becomes who's promoted or who is suggested for promotion above station sergeant, I think.
Right.
An officer comes on the list who is being investigated for assaulting a young man. And you sign that?
Yep.
Come on.
But Jomo, this is not the first time policemen have been accused. Well, didn't we have policemen who at one point, correct me if I'm wrong, convicted at one point many years ago?
Oh, yes. That's all the way back in 2009.
And they were reinstated into the police force?
Yes, remember back in 2009.
Astonishing. And we put up with
police officers. Police officers beat into a coma. A 15-year-old boy then called Jamal Jackson. He was in a coma for 7 days. The police high command thought he was going to die.
Wow.
He survived. When the case was heard, Colin Williams, in his wisdom, and carrying out his duty, decided, look, I'm going to prosecute these police officers. When the case was heard in magistrate court, which really should have been in high court because this guy was in a coma for 7 days. the doctor, one of the doctor, I think it might have been Dr. J, said that the injuries Jamal Jackson suffered were akin to someone falling out or being thrown out of a helicopter.
Jesus. Yep.
They were convicted.
And these policemen were reinstated into
They were convicted. The state paid $40,000 to bring in Cheltenham, Richard Cheltenham, I think, out of Barbados, to defend the police officers.
Yep.
The Court of Appeal upheld the conviction, and then the Police Service Commission re-employed the officers.
Yeah, isn't that wonderful? You see, we forget these things, huh?
I don't forget.
We talk about these things. These are clearly wrong and should not be done. And if certain people wish to abuse me because of that, I mean, how do you justify doing these things? How do you justify promoting a man?
And Stephen, you know,
beating up a teenager.
What is particularly bad about these kind of things, right? You can be sure.
Yeah.
If that police officer had touched Ralph Gonsalves' son toenails,
oh yeah,
he was gone.
Yep. Instantly.
You know what?
Instantly.
You know what caused this is because we are a docile people.
Mental enslavement because we support only one party or one color.
We don't ask for enough
It's not true. It's not true that we are docile people.
We are a docile people.
Yeah,
it is not true.
Accountability is a bad word.
And the issue which before you came on, Council, we're dealing with North Leeward here. No one asked any questions.
Yep, correct.
It was
not true. That is not true. That is not true. Look, people have been asking questions ever since that story broke. Why are you saying nobody asked questions?
Well, but
nothing happens.
Yeah, but if we add enough
you
pressure,
go back to the ineffectiveness of the opposition again. Am I wrong there, Jomo? That's their job. That's their primary job, is to bring things like this to the attention of people and remind them. That's their job, to hold the government accountable. This is not a difficult concept.
Look, citizens, intellectuals have responsibility too. I am not. We tend to want to say that the opposition must do this and opposition must do that. In when I was a younger person, a lot of what we are talking about here was done by community organizations in different towns and villages. There was a concerted effort to kill off those community organizations.
Yeah.
And that may be part of the problem. I don't think that everything we have to say, unless the opposition does it, the political opposition does it, nothing happens. We have gotten to a point now where if you take a principled position, some people may oppose it because that this may make their party look bad.
That is correct. Yes.
All right, guys, we got to wrap it up because we got to take a quick break.
Just one thing. When you 10 seconds, Jomo, have you been counted yet in the census?
Yes, a lady came by the house.
Okay,
I think
last
Sunday.
one of these days, hopefully when I'm back on the air, I would like us to discuss some of those questions which I find personal and offensive.
Right.
And not really relevant to what a census is.
Didn't really ask me the question. The lady only asked me what was my name and
really?
And if I
you should
lived
have
at the
seen
house.
the epistle I got. It took hours to fill out.
Oh, well,
you should have seen it.
That didn't happen.
Let's go over some of those questions and see. I mean, how many hours did I spend feeding my pet in the last week? That was a question on the census. How many hours did I spend cleaning my house this week? You know, I mean, but we'll talk about that in the future. Bing, sorry, go ahead.
All right, Council, thank you very much. We got a promotional interview to do.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Until we meet again. Until we meet again.
All right, let's jump straight into it, and then we're gonna do a promotional interview. Come right back. All right, let's do this and come back to you. We got a lot to talk about.
When using a conventional security camera with infrared lighting for night monitoring,
what you gonna do when the rain is coming down? Nothing more to do when there's no one else around. Bring it back to the middle, push, take it back to the rhythm. Keep it up for good when the sky's falling down. All you gotta do is to bring it to the ground. Get it up to your inner mode. Stop, start, down. Nobody can get what you're going through.
authority investigations.
Virgos, all Libras, all September bonds. Come in and join the birthday celebration with Woodsy. Saturday, 23rd of September. Woodsy, Brooklyn, New York. We're gonna be there.
Welcome to Lane's Hardware Plus Arnasville for convenient shopping.
This is Locally Made. My name is Jillian Crookshank. Join us on IKTV channel 112, where we premiere and air Locally Made, a program featuring locally made produce right here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We'll show you how it's made and how it is done. Remember, every Thursday, 8 p.m. on IKTV channel 112.
You have to be in it to win it. Next Lotto jackpot, $211,000.
So fast pay, a new and easy way to pay. So fast pay, so fast pay.
You asked for it and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow, it's now offering.
Paladin SVG Inc. Alarm Solution is second to none. We offer intrusion alarm systems, security radar, active infrared beams, and emergency alarm systems. Get perimeter protection for your premises. Active infrared beams protect large areas. Our radar video linkage solution sends data to PTZ cameras for active target tracking, so you can take immediate action. Intrusion alarm systems offer reliable protection and records video the moment the alarm is triggered and sends footage to users via email or the app. Intelligent alarm systems mean you can control your home from anywhere in the world. Find out more at Paladin SVG Inc. at telephone number 784-457-7241.
Models, tickets, tables, and of course, appetizers. And don't stress about the music because New York's top DJs are gonna be on the inside. So we're calling all Virgos, all Libras, all September bonds. Come in and join the birthday celebration with Woodsy. Saturday, 23rd of September. Woodsy, Brooklyn, New York. We're gonna be there.
When using a conventional security camera with infrared lighting for night monitoring, people, vehicles, or other important objects can be blurry and blend into the background, making it difficult to identify details in black and white. ColorView technology by
Paladin SVG Inc. Alarm Solution is second to none. We offer intrusion alarm systems, security radar, active infrared beams, and emergency alarm systems. Get perimeter protection for your premises. Active infrared beams protect large areas. Our radar video linkage solution sends data to PTZ cameras for active target tracking, so you can take immediate action. Intrusion alarm systems offer reliable protection and records video the moment the alarm is triggered and sends at telephone number 784-457-7241.
On OMG in the morning with a real bad man Big and DJ Shady.
Yes, time them pippin' man for dead. You know, see it. Hey yo! Well, this is me, Super P. Hello! I tell them to find John Marco. That wasn't enough, so I come with peeping. Help me mother, help me brother, help me sister, help me neighbor with peeping. All them man who peeping. Hey yo! Glasses go sell in Grenada. You know why? Everybody want to see much better. Glasses go sell in Grenada.
Because the cutlass.
Everybody want to see the neighbor. Everybody peeping.
But we know the cutlass. Hey, in case you're peeping, we got a man in the studio who's gonna take care of that for you to make sure you stop peeping in people's business. And if you happen to do it, he's gonna catch you because you've got all the right equipment to take care of that. Paladin is in the house. My buddy Vance is with us this morning. Good morning to you, Vance.
Good morning.
How are you doing this morning, buddy?
I go morning to all the boom listeners out there, whether you listen on the radio or you listen live on the internet or you're watching on IKTV.
Vance is here to tell us all about the cameras and the setup and all that in case you're a peeper. Vance, I understand you've got cameras with night vision.
Yes.
So people who like to peep, you go catch them.
Sure,
Tell us, is that true?
It is very true. And we also have cameras that actually show you every single thing in detail. So night will look like day and day look like night in the
Listen.
camera. So when Cutlass come in and say, we're gonna
catch him. We'll catch him. One of the people will catch him. We'll catch him.
And then the quality from the image.
How come I am getting caught? But what happened to Jomo? Why
Jomo really a prodigal son. Leave the prodigal son alone. Leave the prodigal son alone. Leave the prodigal son alone. So you've got all these sophisticated equipment. You know, somebody met me the other day and said, you know, that they think that they have to order this thing and they're having some problems with their business because we keep breaking in and they have to. I said, what? You gotta go overseas to order? I said, no, you can do it right here. You know, and they say, well, if they do it right here, how long it could take? It will take 3 weeks because they have to take. When you come to paddling, right, and you say, the cutlass keep peeping through my damn window.
Yes, correct.
Right? I want something to catch him. Right?
And when you mention the person, you know, that's emergency.
Yeah, that's an emergency. Right? That's emergency. How long? I mean, are you stuck in store?
Yes.
You gotta order them.
No.
What's the situation? Tell us about that.
Basically, when somebody come to us, when they call us, call Paladin 457-7241. The persons, we do a free assessment by your home or your business. So whereby myself is being dispatched or my boss. Well, currently, I want to say hello to my boss. He's in America currently.
Right.
He's listening right now too as well.
Right.
So we basically gonna send out one of us to do an assessment by your home or your business. We're gonna discuss with you what your needs are, what we can do for you. When we done that now, we give you a quote. The quote basically involves all the equipment that you need, the cost for the install the equipment. When we send that quote for you, you accept that quote. If you accept that quote as well, we schedule it. Normally, a schedule will be between 40 to 72 hours. So, for example, if we go by your home on a Monday, do your business, do the assessment on that Monday. We send that quotation for you the same day. As a matter of fact, as a matter of fact, no, not even the same day. When I'm talking to you, that quotation could come the same time to you because all I have to do is call my office, send the information to the secretary do it one time, so I be talking to you.
So whatever your assessment is, and you say, okay, then you would need night vision cameras that would give all different colors and all that.
No, you got a part wrong. The cameras come with that as standard.
That's a standard thing.
Standard with it.
Night
vision color come with standard.
Okay, Technicolor.
Technicolor. Remember those days when black and white TV?
Yeah, Technicolor. Yeah.
So it comes with that. The camera basically comes with the one of the beauty about Paladin and using the Hikvision brand. Other product that you use or other cameras that other persons are using, you have to, like, when you're for example, when you're ordering a vehicle, if you want certain, like, let us
add-ons upsell you
come with pricing. With Paladin and our Hikvision brand of cameras that we use, infrared color view at the night,
that's standard.
120 degrees viewing angles,
What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean?
Okay, the wide correctly. Most cameras tend to give persons a viewing angle of like say 85 to 95.
Okay, you can't see
degrees.
further than that.
Yeah, and
Fine.
in terms of the range that it covered.
Okay.
With Paladin, we basically our camera system give it from 102 degrees or 120 degrees.
What are you really saying?
So we cover a wider aspect compared to most cameras. So it will cause the customers to use less camera because a lot of times when persons,
I got you now. I got
that's
you
the
now.
main
I got
thing,
you.
because
So you gotta put up holes in that camera.
our cameras cover a wider area, so
Right,
persons, as
right,
you mentioned,
right.
don't have to put 2 and 3 cameras in.
Right.
One camera for us basically will cover.
You're getting better value.
A
You
better
get
value for your
yeah,
money. So you get a better value for your money in terms of quality. And one of the things that I've seen since we launched the Hikvision Color View cameras is that persons are gravitating towards that so much because a standard. The most cameras come with what they call infrared at night,
Mhm.
which is basically show everything as being black and white.
Right.
Now, what that black and white does is that basically you do not see details.
Of course.
Now, everything
of course,
look the
of
same.
course, Of course.
Now with the Hikvision,
So you really cannot tell.
No,
you can't.
You can't tell a person
The details of the person.
of the persons
Yeah,
or the people who's involved in the illegal stuff.
Peeping, the peeping.
Toms.
Yeah, the peeping.
So you could see when the peeping toms come with a cigar in their mouth.
Right,
Kind of
right.
some of them peeping toms
Right.
will be like,
Yeah. So with Hikvision, you've got all of that covered.
You got all
this
of
is
those
standard.
standard. And Hikvision has made it. That's why we at Paladin we choose that brand, and we are the sole distributor of that brand. And it's spelled HIKVISION. So persons out there who are listening, we want persons to able to, because you mentioned about when you meet someone and they say they got a
Yeah, but I was going to get to that. The question is, right? I mean, you have to order. I mean, you're an agent, so then you take the order. I want to cover the cutlass from peeping. So I come to you and I say, yes, sir. I feel the cutlass is peeping.
And it's getting closer and closer.
And
every
getting
day.
closer and closer, right? So I need some protection from him, right? So do you then send off an order?
No, we are one of the only company that have our product in stock.
So
And
everything is in
every
stock.
stock. And one of the good thing about with our Paladin as well too. Now, not only do we have our product in stock where you could get it now, there and then,
Right.
we could also invite you to our office, which is located at Sharp Street, and we could demonstrate that product for you
Right now?
So right now. So you're not buying nothing blind, and that is the disadvantage of basically
Ordering
items
online.
Is that you do not know what
you
you're
don't know
getting.
what you're going to get.
No.
You don't know what you get.
And we have seen that with many other things
Yes,
that we
yes.
order. Sometimes we might order
Yes,
shoes
yes.
and we put them
What it
aside
look
and
like online when you
yeah,
get
not
it
what you
different.
get.
Okay. So you've got displays and all that
we
in
have
your
we have our
location.
displays in our locations with every single
Yo, man, shut up on the phone over there, man. I'm going out here. You hear you all the talking on the phone. You figure we're in the studio. You see what I tell you about here? We need a camera for you now. Yeah, so let me go. Right. So you've got in your stores right now. You could come in there and see your setup right there. now.
there and there.
All of your
All our
cameras.
cameras are there on display. All of our alarm system are there. All of our access control, all our facial recognition, our video intercom, etc. Every different electronic security solution that you
Right.
need,
Right.
we have at our office, which is located at Sharp Street.
Intercom.
Intercom.
I didn't know that you guys carried out
Man,
those.
we carry every facet. Paladin carry every facet.
So
of
from my
electronic security solution.
my domestic, my
Yeah.
house. Somebody come to my gate, y'all, it's either blowing, kick, or they come out, they shouting, bang, especially he, bang, yeah, they home, come out, you call it on my phone. You have to,
the video intercom from Hikvision that we at Paladin provide. You basically, as you say, you press your button, we exactly see who that person
So you're
is.
seeing the
You
person,
see
it's not that ping.
No, and you talking to them
Listen.
as well, and then you basically. You could use your phone to let them through the gate open. You could
When you say use
an
your phone, what do you really mean?
Well, everything that one of the beauty about our system that we have at Paladin is that every single facet of our electronic security that we have, you use in your smartphone as the hub of that. You could let in, you could disconnect, you could arm, you could view, you could record, you could send. So your smartphone is that hub. Now, persons might ask me and say, well, supposedly my phone lost and suppose somebody gonna use that as well. Now, the app itself that you could put the security on top of it. Same like how you have a password
Right,
on top of your
right,
phone,
right,
you
right,
could do
right.
the same thing.
So hold on. So while you're traveling, Cutlass, you can have your phone and monitoring and open your gate and close and answer as if you're home, as if you're home.
You could also arm and disarm your wireless alarm security system from Palin from anywhere in the world. So like for example, Nyan Cutters was just talking a while ago, and he's gonna be leaving the island soon.
Right.
He basically leaving his home where you want to put to the elements, which is
right.
the thing. So peeping Tom. Because remember, he have his own connection. He peeping Tom passes. So might be.
Remember, he live in kind of taking all the woman them too.
So basically, no matter where you are in the world, you could actually control your home. You could see your cameras, you could record from your camera. Your camera will basically set up in the motion sensor, whereby if somebody come into your yard, the camera alert you. If somebody
when is it alert you on your phone?
On your phone, it basically will give a notification, take a photo or a video of whatever triggered that motion sensor. Now, for example, as well too, when you if you're about to send somebody to your home to
you are calling you are number.
You gotta send somebody to clean your house as well too. Our wireless alarm system. That is one of the beauty about our wireless alarm system. Now, most alarm system that sells, whether locally or online, you gotta depend on a third person to contact you.
But you don't with Paladin, you don't cut that out.
Yeah. You control everything.
Let me just occurred to me, right? Particularly for those a lot of husbands and women and wives sometimes travel. So, I mean, is this
Here
a
we
good...
go.
If you wanted to keep an eye on your spouse because you're not quite sure now.
Correct.
This is a good thing for
this
that
is a good thing.
If you want to disarm it, so that she knows she
disarm it.
But here the thing about it now, if as Cutler's point, basically you know could actually on your app that because our camera system, you could give it any amount of person that you want to view your home. Now, what can happen as well? You yourself could make yourself being the admin. So all that person can do is view, but they can't do nothing to the recordings. They can't do the playback. So you have total anonymity over your system setup. So we are saying to person,
this has to be expensive. This has to be expensive.
Okay, this is what persons must do. Now, when persons are listening to me and say Paladin come in, they're telling me their cameras or the alarm or the
but all them things that you're talking about is
it gonna cost me an arm and a leg, and you know what? I go online and I go see this cheap thing, I go bring it in, even though I'm disappointed. At least I have something up there. So they may say this is gonna cost arm and leg because things are rough. I forget my kids to school, bills, blah blah. What I'm saying to persons out there, give us a call, 457-7241. Again, 457-7241. Visit our storeroom. We're located at Sharp Street. Let us do a free assessment at your home, your business, and then you will realize now that the quote that we gave you is not.
It's not the thing.
No, it's not what. And we've seen it many times.
But I've always said, and I've said to you before, can you afford not to have proper security?
No, you can't. And that is you're using that.
And you don't want to use the if factor. Yeah, if I didn't know. If I didn't listen to Vans.
Be proactive. And then again, too, you have mentioned something. Can I afford if not to have the one of the things that most people in St. Vincent and the Grenadines know that a video surveillance system or alarm system is paramount or very good at your home. But the biggest problem that we have seen from Paladin is that persons are basically buying things without doing their research. They're buying things that whenever they purchase it, they throw their hands up in the air thinking, why did I do that? Use a good effective quality system at your home. You don't want when somebody peep through your window, you don't know who it is. Because me and Cutlass is clean. I think it's Vans. It's Cutlass. When you're using Hikvision color view system,
you don't have a problem.
You have a problem.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you a big question. This is a big one that a lot of people have problems with, right? Maintenance.
Now, our camera system, once you basically get good quality of it, it can last you for a lifetime. Now, Paladin also provide a maintenance where we check the system, where we do everything. We do that. We could do that for you maybe quarterly or annually, of course, with a cost.
Okay, of course.
That cost is not expensive. We go a random check of your system. It's just $100 plus VAT.
Okay. That's fine.
Any more details that we have to go through, we bill you accordingly. So, but the thing is, same like your vehicle that you got.
You gotta maintain.
Yeah,
and they carry to the garage, they're gonna
and then you know that it will last a lifetime. And our systems also come with a warranty, of course, with terms and conditions.
Warranty?
A 1-year warranty with terms and conditions. So basically, you have a system that you're gonna put on your home.
Man,
or
you
your
gotta
business,
tell us where your
and
location is again.
Our location is located at Sharp Street. Now, most person might not fit it. When they Sharp Street, in town, they have so much different. Now, let me put this. You know where Musty Company to Middle Street is?
Yes.
You pass, as soon as you pass Musty Company to Middle Street, it looks directly ahead of you.
Straight up, like if you're going up in
if you go long wall up there, you will see a building that marked Paladin.
It's right there. What color is the building?
The building is blue with a
Right.
big white and blue sign that marked Paladin.
Right.
Another
Okay.
land point is that we located opposite Cashways or just in front of physical planning unit.
Okay, okay.
So persons cannot miss where Paladin is located.
Okay, and once again, your number?
Your
Very
number is-
Slow, say it slowly, because you always discuss with that. You always say, if it's that number, so they don't give you number, they don't give you number. What's the number?
Our number is
457
yeah, 72 41.
41.
Let me repeat it again.
457
Yes, correct.
7241.
So
Okay.
persons could contact us anytime.
Right.
Now, as well to now, you know, we office hours is 8 to 4.
Right.
Now, they could contact me. My cell number is 493 82 41. And you could
41.
contact me anytime.
24 hours.
24 hours a day. You could message me. I will respond as soon as I get any message. If you call me and the call is missed, I will call you back.
You'll respond.
Because with Paladin, we want to
You're in the security business. You gotta always be. You
see
gotta
that-
be respond.
Yeah,
You gotta
yeah,
respond. You gotta
respond to
respond.
things.
You gotta respond.
You
Time
see
is
that
important.
peace of mind?
Yeah.
That is what Paladin attain to for persons to have that added peace of mind out there. Don't be reactive.
Don't be
proactive.
reactive. Don't say the if.
No,
Don't say
if. No,
if I
if
didn't know.
it-
If I didn't know.
No.
If I didn't know. If I didn't know.
We want to cut that
Yeah.
out.
Vance,
yes,
thank you,
so
buddy.
much.
Is there anything finally wrap
Well,
up?
again, repeat the number for
Yeah,
persons.
it's very important.
Yes.
Someone is asking again.
Yeah, it's 457 72 41. You could visit our office, which is located at Sharp Street, or you could go to our Facebook page, which is at Paladin SVG. Just type in the word Paladin. That's PALADIN. That's the word Paladin, and you could send a message to us. We'll get back to you ASAP.
And I'm saying an important message here. If someone overseas want to put in security system for their family at home, like a mother
Oh,
or
we
so,
have that so much
you
time
can,
we
you
don't
can
need
do
it.
that.
Just contact us.
Call us.
Yeah.
784.
Yeah. 784-457-8241.
Thank you, my buddy. Thank you. Stop the peeping. Hey, Paladin was in the house. That was Vance. Remember, check them out. Yo, don't say if I didn't know. Don't say if I didn't know. You see all the things are happening these days. It is important to have proper security. It
Yes.
is very important to have proper
Yes,
security.
it is.
Given what is happening,
And
in
you
this
need
country.
to know what's going on.
And you
too.
need to know. You need to know
what's going on in your house when you're out. You need to
Especially
know what's
when
going
you're
on
in
in your
your
house
home,
when
yeah.
you're out of your house.
When rat in your cornfield. When snake in your grass.
You need
when
to know.
who going in your sugar pot.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
need to know.
Wait, you know Fort is married?
Who?
Fort Alexander.
No, but you buried.
You're not married? Okay, what
What is a family
is,
man?
Is Kenson
Decent.
married?
Decent. What is that? Decent.
Really? A nice small
But he wasn't have a nice Molly. My friend, but
He traded,
we don't-
he
we don't
made
do
a
this.
trade in?
We don't do these things.
That
No, we don't do this. We
hypocritical
don't do
boy.
these things. We don't do-
Yeah.
But we don't do these things.
I bet you he won the security system, so when he's away, he's terrified of Smalley and Butter.
Bud travels a lot.
Oh, Bud, buddy.
Lord. But I won't tell them about the discussion we had about the cruise. I tell Bud, I said,
You was
Bud.
on the cruise too?
No. I said, Bud, one of the cruises that I have to go to is
Yes.
Alaska.
Right.
And-
Yeah, I agree with you. I
and-
agree.
and-
Yeah,
but-
I was supposed to
but-
go on that.
But
for
hey,
years
oh,
ago.
Bud, tell me that. I will
Yes.
tell off the mic and tell you.
Yes.
Because,
Okay, can't say
because you
publicly.
can't.
Okay.
Because he was right.
Really?
He was right. He was. And I came back and I started thinking, boy, yeah, boy. Oh, yeah, boy, yeah, Bud.
Yeah.
I think we all do
Shady,
that. We all do that, Bud. We
so
all do that.
Shady, you can send us a picture of the Smalley, see what we think of it.
Boy, no, Bud,
Let's
no.
see what we think of it.
Somebody
Come
said
the
they
man,
want to
Bud,
talk
come
to
the
you.
man. Sharing is caring, Bud. Come man, come.
Yeah, talk to the Cutlers. Good morning.
Bing.
Yes, sir.
Morning.
Yeah, Bones.
Morning to
Yeah,
everybody again.
yeah.
Bones is another one, eh? Cheryl, install them cameras when you're away, Cheryl. You know,
Call Paladin.
Cheryl. And when he's done here, I'll keep an eye out for you.
You know the problem with the two of you and Bing? I think Shady plenty younger than all. So Shady should be the only one talking about Smalley. Oh, no.
So we should be talking about Biggie Smalley.
Be careful how you use that one thing, you know, because you don't know you get in trouble with that.
Boy, I had 9 lives. Leave me alone.
Boy.
I had 9 lives. Let me go, buddy. Let me go. Which one is you want to hit this morning? Let me go.
No. I don't have enough time for that one because I'm going to hit you up with it tomorrow.
Yeah, but which of the issues that we've been talking about that you want to hit, we want to hit going on?
That's the point. The topics were so good this morning that I can't talk about my issues this morning, so we can deal with it tomorrow.
Yes, but from what we were speaking about this morning, which of them you want to talk about?
You remember when I brought in the picture? Now, I'm going to send you all the whole slew of pictures that I took. You see the gentleman that called in this morning? He was right on target.
Troy, yeah.
Troy was right on target this morning. And Stephen made some excellent points on the same thing.
Yeah.
I told you, now there's equipment out there.
Yeah.
These guys could have measured the strata of rock that's in that hillside before they tear it down.
Bones, did you get a chance to go down there and see it for yourself?
Why you think I got the pictures?
Okay.
But let me tell you, the representative even met me down there.
Bring it up.
But Bones, would you agree, right? That when you see it in real life as opposed to a video or a picture, it's a lot more shocking, don't you think?
Boy, Stephen, that is why I brought the thing on Boom the morning when I was in the studio with thing.
Yeah, he brought some photographs.
It's quite shocking.
Yeah.
People don't realize the extent of the damage that this thing is created.
Okay, so this is the view I want you guys to take a look at. We have 2 tractors up there. Tearing down the mountains. And there's a huge embankment here, which of course is used to block out the public view as to what is happening. But this is the site closest to the village where they are still tearing down mountains to get to the rock. So it is not that they are not doing anything here, it's just that it's a lot of soil and forest area that they need to get rid of before they can get to the bit of rock that they are seeing there, which gave Renu the multiple orgasms, you know. So they are doing work here. They are walking. You have 2 tractors up there still tearing down the mountain to get to that bit of rock that you are looking at. So they are walking. So if not what people want to remain sleeping while this killer of a project takes its course, that's on them, yeah? Again, I am most fearful of the dust, of the noise, of the loss to our water life, fishes, tree, we lobsters, and all other bad things that could happen with a project like this, including the closing of this project, which was supposed to be a medicinal marijuana project. Project basically is on hold because of the uncertainty surrounding this quarry here being in operation so close to it, you know. But that's the damages that they are doing. All right, I'm going to end this one right here now. I'm sweaty and I need to take a shower. Yeah. Thank you guys for viewing. Thank you guys for sharing. And enjoy the rest of your day. I'm out like a candle. Bye-bye. Yeah.
I know what he was insinuating, and that's the problem. You remember the last time I was in the studio when Doc and I had a disagreement?
Yeah.
When I said to him, and I hope he's listening, that's the problem with the church. The churches get beat up on because they don't talk about certain things.
Yep, they're too involved in this. They're being intimidated by the talk of this politics. It's life.
Please don't talk about the church with Steve now wrong, please.
He missed the point. And that is exactly what he was insinuating yesterday. Because I mentioned the FSA. Now, come on.
Yep.
The FSA published something in the Southside newspaper. And I'm going to deal with it in depth tomorrow.
Okay.
And I got to ask them a couple of questions. Simple questions. Because the head of...
Okay, so this is the view I want you guys to take a look at. We have 2 tractors up there. Tearing down the mountains. And there's a huge embankment here, which of course is used to block out the public view as to what is happening. But this is the site closest to the village where they are still tearing down mountains to get to the rock. So it is not that they are not doing anything here, it's just that it's a lot of soil and forest area that they need to get rid of before they can get to the bit of rock that they are seeing there, which gave Renu the multiple orgasms. You know, so they are doing work here. They are walking. You have 2 tractors up there still tearing down the mountain to get to that bit of rock that you are looking at. So they are walking. So if Nollywood people want to remain sleeping while this killer of a project takes its course, that's on them, yeah? Again, I am most fearful of the dust, of the noise, of the loss to our water life, fishes, tree, lobsters, and all other bad things that could happen with a project like this, including the closing of this project, which was supposed to be a medicinal marijuana project. Project basically is on hold because of the uncertainty surrounding this quarry here being in operation, so close to it, you know. But that's the damages that they are doing. All right, I'm going to end this one right here now. I'm sweaty and I need to.
Out. What happens in St. Vincent is regulations. Like who regulates? Who's regulating this issue that is taking
Thing,
place here?
Nobody,
You can call us in the
nobody
meantime.
regulates much in St. Vincent, and nobody enforces much in St. Vincent unless it's in the interest of somebody else. We know this already, buddy. We have clear evidence of this, right? We talk about, you know, it's funny. I have some people visiting from Canada who are doing some work here on our computer systems and so on, and they asked a simple question yesterday. They said, because we were at lunchtime, we were discussing things like zoning and planning and how cities are laid out and the impact of green space in North America around certain cities and how it, you know, the negative impact is that it does drive up housing costs. The positive impact, of course, is that the environment is much nicer and there are trade-offs to be had. And they asked me, they said, we're driving into town.
Hold on, caller.
And do you all have any planning or zoning or whatever? I said allegedly, but in reality, no, we don't. It just depends upon who you know and what
gosh.
party colors your way. Then you could do almost anything in this country.
Caller, good morning, your life.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Just tuning in, wonderful topic. And even though I ain't see the picture, but I'm listening, my heart is very broken. I feel so downhearted, you know, what taking place, you know, as you are speaking. I did down there. But nevertheless, what I want to say, that what we're trying to say, you are disfiguring the island, then therefore, if you have a picture, right, of St. Vincent, this is how you look. When you don't do all that work, I just want to be educated. When you don't do all that work, and it come in that state where the mountain come down, that means you have to send a different map, a different, you know, picture site of the
topography.
Yeah, the topographical
map. Topographical survey of the area.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
She's correct.
So you would not
Be
the way how St. Vincent is all the time. And it is so heartbroken that it's not concerned about the people. It's concerned about you, the individual. Because if you do an environment assessment, they will think about where we're going to put the dirt. And if you put the dirt certain places, what would be effect after? I believe all that has been, and maybe they did it, but they just don't care. Or they concerned. You come to do a job and get it done. But they're not really involved in the... And that's a bad thing.
I think that most politicians in this country are concerned about only one thing.
One thing.
How to win the next election.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
it. Nothing else.
But how could authorizing a project like this? I mean, okay. So
no, because you have to look
we-
at what it was so like originally, right? It was supposed to be a big beneficial project that was going to create jobs, and the problem is,
But
we don't ask
how
at the
far
beginning
would it have to go
before you
somebody
realize
say,
something is happening.
Okay,
Yeah,
this
this
is
is
not going as
Please.
planned. Go ahead. Sorry, caller. Go ahead.
I hate to hear that word, create job.
Yeah.
The reason why I would say that Ben and the other guy there, I forget his name.
Stephen.
The Cutlers.
Stephen and Stephen.
Yeah. Cut us. You're really cutting sharp. But nevertheless, anyway, agree with me, is when you say it's for the beneficial of people creating jobs. Whatever I say, this is my opinion. That is a lie.
Okay.
You're not creating no job for Vincent. It's just a word to tickle the people's ears and to make them feel good. Because those who in the students, Ben, Bing and Cutlass.
Stephen.
If that is the situation, when the moment you talk the talk, but when the moment time come to release the job to the people, you put a blockage where they aim this, they aim that, and they aim things. Just because You don't want people to rise. That's my opinion. You want people to rise up to fight against what you're going to do.
All right.
So therefore, you bribe them with talk. Because if you say that I'm going to create jobs and I'm going to open a hotel and they're going to build and building the hotel, they're going to hire 500 people, right? Vincent can get excited. Wow, I get a job. 500 million included. And when the time comes, not that is deceived. When the time comes, right? What happened? You hear where you're not qualified. You hear this, you hear that. When look, you see, how can an outsider coming in and getting the job? That's you're fooling the Vincent.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much, caller. Thank you very much for calling. I appreciate your call. Okay. Thank you very much. Yes, and it's you of regulating what is happening, Stephen. It is crazy.
But I have to run in a couple of minutes, so go ahead, caller. Oh, you cut them off. Okay.
Sorry, cut them off.
You cut them off. No, but the issue of enforcing regulations and having regulations. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Yes, caller. Good morning. Sorry that I cut you off.
Stephen Joachim, good morning, sir.
But you ain't supposed to call it. What to you? You know when you're supposed to call. You're supposed to call it.
Good morning, my friend.
Hold on. You ain't supposed to call it. Play job. Shady, you're supposed to call it. No, play job. Hold on, Shady. Play. This is when he supposed to call.
Let me hear.
What, Shady?
I want to say thanks to those who voted for Labour, but now a ball.
Go on. Now's your turn. And then he come tell me, oh, he was when he was younger.
I don't know. He was a big party supporter.
Yes. Where think he come from?
I didn't know.
Where think he come from? Go on. You were supposed to call it. It's after 9. But go on. You are talking to the red man.
Leave it in a couple of minutes. I have to leave in a couple of minutes.
People think that you think. Yes, God, that is true. That's where you got called from. Go ahead.
Yes, Stephen program. Yes, Carlos program. Go ahead, my friend. Go ahead.
Morning, Bing. You felt in some good punches these days, since you come back from the weekend. You felt in some serious hurry.
It's a toilet experience, buddy. That's what pointed out. Washed away all the issues.
Smart toilet.
Smart toilet. Help them to clean up it sometimes.
Look. This is such a pertinent and important set of stuff you guys dealing with, especially for these 2 days here. Last night I was listening to Jomo on Voices, and he mentioned something where he mentioned the word treason, and I always say this, and this is my opinion. Ralph Gonsalves, as Prime Minister of Sentences, should be charged for treason. That's my opinion.
On what ground?
That is my opinion. Let me tell you why. You know, me just come with my car, man. Let me tell you why.
I have to run, so I will leave you to fight up. Sorry, Kelson. I will leave you to fight up with Bing, okay? And good luck.
You're running
but
because
I have to
of
run.
the word you use.
Treason, I'm running. I have real work to do.
If you get pulling on the treason thing, you know, you want to get charged for treason too. Go ahead, buddy. Go ahead.
Bing, I am one of the only Vincentians in SPG to have been charged with sedition. As a matter of fact,
define that for our listeners, please.
Basically, it's you talking against your government, which you shouldn't do.
Right.
It's a old lad. That's the easiest way I could put it, really. And for me, Ralph Gonsalves should be charged with treason.
And define treason as well too, and justify.
It is treason. Treason is you basically being an enemy to your country.
But how do you justify that?
All right, so I'm going to justify it. Thing. Number one, and these are my opinions. This Prime Minister and his party has shown that they care not one iota for Vincentians. Yeah? And when this party is finished in government, Vincentians are going to be way worse off for it. Let me give number one. Some years ago, when the NP was still in office, our national debt was $500 million. The same Ralph Gonsalves along with Vincent Beach. Ball, chop the hand in the air. Oh God, when are we going to pay off that? Their great grandchildren and them are going to pay off that. No, they are the ones who have come and raised our national debt, as they say, to over $2.65 billion. No. When you look at all of these loans and all of these things that we have been, for me, personally, and until I see an audit saying otherwise, our country has nothing less than about $6 billion in debt. That is number one.
6 billion, you say?
6 billion. And I'm sticking to that until an audit is done, maybe by a new government or something, to prove me wrong. It was the same thing that happened in Barbados. The previous government before Mayor Motley was downplaying what the national debt was until they went there and see that it was over $7 billion. And with the amount of loans, we have nothing else bringing in, none of our productive sectors or we hardly have any industries here, productive industries bringing in any major money here yearly being. Our expenditure is sometimes 4 times what we own, our revenue. And every single minute you're hearing about some $1 million in loans being borrowed. Now, take a time and look around St. Vincent Bay. Do you really see over $2 billion worth of improvement in SVG for the last 22 years? Really and truly. They tell you a couple $1 billion could solve the entirety of homelessness and so forth in the United States. St. Vincent is just a place of 100 and how much square feet with 110,000 people. And look at the billions of dollars we are talking about in national debt. Now, the same Ralph Gonsalves who was jumping up and balling years ago that $500 million I have with great-grandchildren and them paying it back. How much of our generations are going to be paying back what we owe now? So that is number one. You put us in a place where we are hooked to die, by loans alone. And then have the heart to come and say you put a hook in the gill. Now in the job owner that you could take it out, in the gill of Vincent.
But hold on. You know the context in which that was being said, right?
Oh yeah. Yes, okay. But it's still a tie being, because you know why? If another government, another party has to get into government with a particular foreign policy, the country wants to move away from certain things, or whatever, you have the country tied. You literally sold the country to another country. You literally did that. You took away the freedom of our country to do what it wants as a sovereign nation. And you come and you tell us and slap us in the face and brag about it. Yeah? Number two, look at what is happening to our environment. Okay, you want to kill Mitchell for what Mitchell did in Kenawan with the lease. But you come and you do worse. And as Jomo said last night, this is 23 times worse than what Mitchell did. And for me that is another treasonous act. Because here now, at least, Mitchell and the NDP then, what they did was that they leave this buffer zone. You sold it, and now coming back and cussing about the lands, the same land that you said Mitchell was wicked to give away. You know cussing that they are not being sold quick enough for you to make money. And then, look at Notley Ward with Reno. Yeah? You know have this issue where you give away all of that land basically for peanut change. So what's the difference? What is the difference to what Mitchell did? But worse than that is that our environment is going to be changed, and not for the better. You remember first and foremost, there was no consultation with the people. Number two, most people just woke up and saw their agricultural produce destroyed and land destroyed. Number three, that same area, the conservative people down there, in Notley Wood, you know there was supposed to be a forest reserve You talk about zoning and so forth just now.
Yes.
There was supposed to be a forest reserve right across there. You decide to throw away all of that for something that is not even beneficial to St. Vincent. Because 99% of what is supposed to be owned is not going to be St. Vincent. And so when this is where the hypocrisy of all of these things usually come in when they talk about food security and when they talk about the environment. This goes to show that this government is nothing but talk, just that Reno issue alone. And you know what does bother me is that almost every part of our productive sectors are being put in the hand of foreigners being done a treason. Because you're taking that away from our people. You want some examples, the marijuana something. Ralph said that he would hunt our marijuana farmers till they want no more. But now you put legislation in place to protect the government and their cronies from being convicted when it comes to marijuana. But you have Vincent Shan still going to prison for marijuana, the same marijuana that you have a whole resort out in out at Canash. A whole resort out there where people could go and sit down and smoke. Yeah? But you have Vincent Shan's, the poor man who's still trying to fight to make a living, you send him in prison. Number two, look at our fishing industry. It's now in the hand of a foreign entity who has been given all of these concessions and 15 years tax-free operation with the if they want to renew the option to renew. And then what are they doing? Yeah? They're doing imports and so forth. Is there a new agreement? Look at Reno. Reno came here said to do quarry. Look at what Reno is doing. And you have a whole minister going along with them. To make sure that they get produced. Is there another agreement for them to do that? And yesterday, when the person wanted to come and play smart and send that question that you read about is a different business and this and that, fine. But are they still benefiting through that business from the agreement that they have for the quarry? Because it's their vehicles, the same vehicles that came in here duty free, may I say up and down buying produce. So where the Reno agreement said that every piece of equipment that they bring in will be brought in free without custom duties and so forth to deal with the quarry.
The quarry is now being used.
Is now being used
against farmers, traffickers who are trying to ply their trade, local traffickers as well too.
So that's not treasonous.
No, I won't go as far as saying it's treasonous.
That is treasonous. You want to tell why it's treasonous thing?
I won't go that far.
Let me tell you why I go that far. Let me tell you why I go that far. Because you keep on putting our people at a disadvantage for the foreigners of them, and you keep selling our sovereignty to them. Number 3, our passports are not going to stop right here because we have more, but I will stop this one. I will stop here. You remember some years ago, a whole heap or thousands of passports were burnt in St. Vincent here? You remember that? Did we ever see, was there ever anything shown to us and said this was what was the problem? We were only told that there was a problem with the picture page. We never saw what the problem was. But we know that persons had already gotten from those batch of passports. We never heard that anybody took them back. But all of a sudden, we were hearing of ships under the Vinci flag being stopped in Dutch countries, and more than one time and about 3 times, with persons on these ships who can speak an ounce of English, have Vincent Shan passports, and can even point where St. Vincent is. Then a treasonous thing. Then a treasonous. But he has so much more I could point out, but I will leave it right there. Because you see what's happening in North Leeward there with Reno. Look at and this is the thing, before I go, is the fact that our ministers and this ULP regime really look at Vincentians as idiots when Carlos James could come watch me and tell we remove the topsoil, they go put it back when they're done. Tell me if that point, look, but he said it publicly, it was, he said it publicly, he said it publicly, he said they're going to put back the topsoil. I don't know and how they're going to put it back. But you see, when Ralph Gonsalves mentioned that St. Vincent is only a pile of rocks covered with topsoil, that should have frightened away. That should tell you what the man think of us. All of that is treasonous for me. Have a good morning, buddy.
That's your opinion, my friend.
That is my opinion.
That's your opinion.
That's my opinion.
Country belongs to you too. You're entitled to your opinion. You're entitled to your opinion, buddy.
If I was entitled to my opinion and all of that, I wouldn't have been under sedition charge right now.
You can see in court, you can say, well, that's your opinion. You know, can't take your opinion away from you. You're born with a brain to have an opinion.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Morning, buddy.
Morning. You know, this thing with this quarry in North Leeward, you know, and I asked the Cutlass earlier on about regulation. So someone is just allowed to come into the country, given a contract, given a lease agreement, given concession, and nobody is there to regulate it to say, well, okay, you're going a bit too far. Maybe we should stop here. Why not do here instead of there? You just give carte blanche, just a blank check and say, go on, do what you want to do. Good morning, call your life.
Morning, Bing.
Morning, brother, morning.
If I'm back in America now, in the US.
Oh, you're back in the US?
Man, yeah, that's a quick one. I will talk about syndicates another time.
All right, okay.
Bing, if I invest silently in a Renault until man get orgasm, now he alone get orgasm, all of we be in there and get orgasm too. So, the orgasm, me just tell people, are you get orgasm, but all of we get orgasm because all of we have money there. So by hook or by crook, we get back our money and we put it in there. So if we bring it in to quarry and the quarry flap, the quarry break before you enter.
And you find another way. You find another way to make.
Find another way to invest. But hey, what now? Let me touch the environmental part, and I want to thank Troy Prince because Troy Prince is a son of the soil down Leeward. And today he been attacked. A long time he been attacked, and he don't have to talk because Troy Prince like good enough. To be honest, enough. They might go on a global platform and talk about climate change and the effects of climate change and why blame America and Canada and other countries, rightfully so. But in the same breath, you're going to allow Renault to destroy the environment. So you can't go talking about climate change when you're messing up the economy in St. Vincent at a magnified rate because St. Vincent's landscape is so small, therefore it's more fragile than some places that have more land than St. Vincent. You're going to allow Renault to go and destroy that? Being born and raised in Leyu, left from St. Vincent in 1996. And you see that quarry we have in Leyu there? Leyu River now is a big stream. It's no longer a river because of all the sediment that runs down into the river. And nobody talks about these things. Planning. Talk about they have a grey water system on books and every new house that build. It was about 10, 15 years ago. Every new house that build, they're going to have to run the runoff water in a grey water system that is going to treat the water. So when me wash my clothes, when me wash off my bleach and cream off of my skin because me want to look good for the high maintenance, get at them now. And he go into the river. And the river running at the ocean. And now the ocean is depleted. Remember, they make a big jump up and worry about some coral reef. If we go to Leyu, I used to dive in Leyu Bing every time I come home. Now, Bamba, we have to go to see some of the same fish I used to see in Leyu by Jacksonville. So when we talk about climate change, we need to shut up and deal with it home first. Because you have these companies out there. We see somebody post a picture of a video of a hotel out Villa Beach or some way. That he run off from his kitchen, running right past the beach, and the water stinks. He say people down Camden Park can't be paid properly because the brewery that's owned by the other company. Now the Vincent and Company own brewery. a girl child go and swim. I hold it for each company boys can, so we can't come talk about climate change and we deliberately allowing outsiders to come and exploit our people and they also exploiting our environment. That is hypocrisy. Absolute hypocrisy, and I'm glad you guys touch that environmental thing because if the environment mash up thing, me not gonna have nothing to come home to because me want to go and backstroke and remember how why I think Sir James plays so good thing that your father-in-law that because he used to go back and backstroke every morning. Me want to come home and backstroke too like Sir James. Me now want to come home and me do some wake up now. I hold it for ground leash coming on my mouth and me mouth a fraud. You know when them preach at the church and I tell lie and then can I'm out a fraud. Me now want my mouth fraud like that, please and thank you. While you continue to play me steady fire here, pick up by yourself, nigga.
Thank you, my brother Max. You know, Max touched on climate change issue, and I'm very happy that he did because I want to touch on that as well too. Caller, good morning, you're live.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
You're too silent for me, you know. You are too silent for me on these crucial matters of concern in this country.
Dave, hold on. Before you get going, right? Before you get going, don't start me on my wrong side this morning here.
Start you on the wrong side?
Don't start me on my wrong side this morning.
I got no control over you, buddy. Me got no control.
Anyway, I'll leave you in the hands of God. Continue. Continue, my brother. Continue. For you to make a statement that I am too silent. Who brought the issue to hand this morning?
All right.
Okay, good. Continue, my brother. Continue.
Right.
It's not but love.
You know, that's why I big up Kenson yesterday. And then you have Max there. I mean, I know Kenson. I don't know who is Max. But, I mean, these are regular callers who keep your program alive and well. You know why? Because they're looking at the real issues that are affecting us as a people and the country as a whole. Yet we have one man. He knows everything about everybody in St. Vincent and Grenadines. Remember some time ago he made a confession that when he asked to use people bathroom, toilet or whatever, he goes in there and starting up people medicine chest. Oh, Vincent John's memory short, you know. We suffer from too much amnesia in this country. The Prime Minister is so big-faced, so bold-faced to tell us what he does. And people clap and appreciate all of that. Well, like I said yesterday, a lot of us too greedy, we're too licorice. Some of us want to be in the Red Man Company and all of that. You know, we love our own color. We can't see black. All we could see is red.
Why does it have to be an issue with black and
because it is an issue. It is an issue. What did the Prime Minister say about Adam Eustace? And if some president was to come here? Huh?
What did he say? Remind me, please.
He can't remind you. Other people can remind him.
But you're raising it. You remind me, please. What did he say? What did he say?
If he and George Bush was walking in the something, you know, you won't recognize Eustace. What does that mean to you?
That is a total statement that he said. In the context of what he said.
Well,
Dave, you must take everything and make it a political issue, you know.
I be taking everything?
Yes. So you use that, you take that issue and you spun it and make it an issue of race. What the Prime Minister was speaking about was that George Bush knew him and he wouldn't know Adam Eustace.
All right. Okay. Nice excuse. Nice.
What do you mean nice excuse? I'm not stupid. And sometimes I wonder about some people who talk about these things in the order of politics, of making politics.
Let me tell you something. The Prime Minister has said enough in this country to convince me that he can do anything, say anything he likes. He can tell you whatever he wants.
That's a different issue you're raising there now.
He can tell you anything he wants to tell you, and you would say, Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister.
Yes,
PM,
that is true.
Right, so you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yes, PM, that is true. We get it every Sunday morning. We hear it every Sunday morning.
I don't mean to. I don't mean to.
Every Sunday morning at 10:30 we get it.
But like the Prime Minister.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, Prime Minister. Yes, Prime Minister.
Prime Minister.
And here now, sometimes the Prime Minister himself just asks them, so all you have nothing to ask me? Thank you, Dave. Thank you. Thank you, Dave. Sometimes I listen to that program. I'm not one of those who going to say I don't listen, right? I listen to that program, and I hear sometimes the Prime Minister they say, well, so you only have anything to ask me? You only had nothing to say? Just yes. Three big men sit down in WFM station on a Sunday morning, like they had nothing to do, waiting for the Prime Minister to call. And everything he call, every Sunday morning he call, and every single thing he say is every single thing he say. Snow falling up St. Andrews. A man make a baby in North Leeward. I saw a donkey flying the other night and the donkey was green. Hear them. Three big men. We're here is really. Sometimes we're here is really. And then the Prime Minister will say, so all he had nothing to ask me. So all of what I said. Anybody they have any questions? Everybody go quiet. But when he talk anything on them, any damn thing the Prime Minister say, hear them. I think the three of you are three little boys in that studio. Hear them. Not at all. Like not at all. And the Prime Minister will be on the phone and he will talk for 20, 15 or sometimes an hour. And none of them had not to ask him. Not one of them does ask him anything. Don't care whatever he say. He would say, so yesterday I got information that snow fell in Camden Park. Hear them. I tell you, boy. Shady boy. I tell you. So, in North Leeward, absolutely no regulation. An investor came in who has a right to because he's a member of CARICOM, a businessman from the organization, from OECS, Windward Islands, from St. Lucia, as he should have a right to. As an Vincentian, as bigger bigs, should have a right to go to St. Lucia and open a block making plant and say, you see that mountain up there? Whenever I look at that mountain up there, I have an orgasm because I see plenty stones, millions of dollars of stones I see in that mountain. That's what the man said now. That's what he said. He told them millions of dollars in that mountain up there with stone. And I think that I could make that, turn that stone into gold. And I see all them projects, them millions, hundreds of millions of dollars of projects. You're going to need stones from this project here. So we digging. We keep digging. And all we get is good soil, top soil. Good soil to plant bananas, plant whatever, ginger, whatever you want. And we going down, and we ain't finding nothing. And nobody there regulating, so nobody there ain't saying, well, hold on. One of the main reasons why we give permission for the man to have orgasm, to have sex with the mountain to rape North Leeward Mountain was for stones, because we needed the stones, according to the Prime Minister, we needed the stones for the modern port project. And you will see trucks and trucks and trucks rolling out of North Leeward. And my only concern is that all these stones will be on the road and vehicles, my thing. So we may have to put them on a badge and we may have to boat them up because of the amount of stones we will need for the modern port projects. And Hotel X and Hotel Y and Hotel G and Hotel P gonna need all these stones. And don't talk about the hundreds of thousands and the millions of dollars in road work that these stones are going to do. And we need the quarry. And if we don't have the quarry, we can't do these projects. Well, no quarry in there. May see no stones on the road. Where I live, I have a good view of the seawater. May see no barge moving with stones. And I would hate to think it's topsoil they're going to use. So what happened? All are we going to sit down and do like the tree men and make them on WFM? Nobody in which all are we going to sit down and say like Reno, just doing what you want down there, no regulation. And everybody, nobody ain't saying nothing. All are we just there saying this? Everybody just there, nobody asking no question. But I can guarantee you, when the Prime Minister call on Sunday morning and he will speak on whatever, and somebody will go and tell the Prime Minister that thing was talking about this. And he will go on Sunday morning and he will give an answer. And he will speak at length. He will speak for about 20 to 30 minutes on why Reno is not getting any stone. And maybe it wasn't God's plan. And he will quote the scripture. He will quote Revelation. Right? And he would say why God didn't put the stones there. And the three big men on that radio station on Sunday morning, they're just going to this saying, Mr. Prime Minister, yes, PM, yes, PM, Mr. Prime Minister, everything you say. What is this at all? Where is really? I tell you, we gotta take a break, Shady. We gotta take a break, yeah? So let me take this break. We'll come back. We'll continue because Dr. Richardson come, eh? Let me take the break. Let me drink some coffee, yeah? In the meantime, eh, Shady? How about we do that? Yeah? Or should we take some phone calls before that? Okay, we'll take the phone. Now, which one? Let me take the break. We'll be long overdue for the break. We can take the phone call. We can take the phone call. We're long overdue for the break. Let me take the break. Let me take the break. You hear? Yeah. You in the country. You in the country. You in the country. You in the country. Take the country. All right, take the call. Call. Yes, PM, that is true. And Prime Minister would say, so do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? That's what happened now. So none of you have any questions for all of what I said. Hey, what is happening? Nobody have any questions to ask me about all that I said for the last 30 minutes? Cricket. But when I'm talking, good morning.
Your morning program should go till 11 o'clock, you know, especially when they are hot topics like these.
Bones boy, morning boy.
Boy, you know, no. I want all to keep this alive. Eh? I don't care how much people want to chastise me. I want all to keep this alive. That's why I brought it up to you when I was home and I came in the studio. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. So keep it alive, buddy. All right?
I will talk to you.
Buddy, all right.
All right.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, take a break. We can't take the more calls right now. Should you run, press the button there because my hand can't move right now right there. Press the button. I need to go outside and get some
Saturday, the
coffee.
23rd of September, we're coming for the birthday celebration. Woodsy, that's the place to be. Yes, please. 1133 Clarkson Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, 11212. Let me.
What you gonna do when the rain is coming down? Nothing more to do when there's no one else around. Bring it back to the middle, push, take it back to the rhythm. Keep it up for good when the sky's falling down. All you gotta do is to bring it to the ground. Hit it up to your inner mouth. Stop, start, down. Nobody can get what you're going through.
Fly this summer with Inter-Caribbean Airways. Flights from St. Vincent to St. Lucia.
Isn't it good to know that no matter
This is Locally Made. My name is Jillian Crookshank. Join us on IKTV channel 112 where we premiere and air Locally Made, a program featuring locally made produce right here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We'll show you how it's made and how it is done. Remember, every Thursday, 8 p.m. on IKTV channel 112.
ColourView technology by Hikvision enables cameras to produce
cables, find that at Corazes. We have everything for your home at Corazes. Located in Kingston, located in Annisville. Pembroke, Diamonds and Beckwith. Shop at Corazes. Hardware Corazes. Helpful place Corazes. One place Corazes. Corazes.
Listen, I'm a mojito connoisseur. I've drank mojitos near and far. And when you want a good mojito, trust me, the only place to get it is Culture Barn.
Community.
Paladin SVG Inc. Alarm Solution is second to none. We offer intrusion alarm systems, security radar, active infrared beams, and emergency alarm systems. Get perimeter protection for your premises. Active infrared beams protect large areas. Our radar video linkage solution sends data to PTZ cameras for active target tracking so you can take immediate action. Intrusion alarm systems offer reliable protection and records video the moment the alarm is triggered and sends footage to users via email or the app. Intelligent alarm systems mean you can control your home from anywhere in the world. Find out more at Paladin SVG Inc. at telephone number 784-457-7241.
Entertainment.
Top DJs, so SVG gets ready.
Isn't it good to know that no matter where you are, you're covered? Covered by a company owned by Vincentians that understands your unique insurance needs. At Metrosint General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service to guarantee that you have the peace of mind that you deserve. When it comes to motor vehicle, property, employer's liability, business insurance, and much more, we've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metrosint General Insurance Company.
Your table today. Hotel Alexandrina's Culture Bar and Grill, where flavors come to life.
More family fun days are here. It's time for movie marathons, living room camping, sweet treats, and outdoor fun. At Quartz, we have TVs, appliances, outdoor furniture, grills, tools, and everything you need for a family holiday. Shop today with no cash and pay later with Quartz Ready Finance. Plus, stay protected for up to 4 years with Super Shield Extended Warranty. Quartz is bringing back the fun days and bringing value home. Offer ends August 23rd, 2023. Special conditions apply.
So fast pay, a new and easy way to pay. So fast pay, so fast pay.
You asked for it and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes.
What you gonna do when the rain is coming down? Nothing more to do when there's no one else around. Bring it back to the middle, push, take it back to the rhythm. Keep it up for good when the sky's falling down. All you gotta do is to bring it to the ground. Get it up to your inner move. Stop, start, down. Nobody can get what you're going through.
Grills, tools, and everything you need for a family holiday. Shop today with no cash and pay later with Quartz Ready Finance. Plus, stay protected for up to 4 years with Super Shield Extended Warranty. Quartz is bringing back the fun days and bringing value home. Offer ends August 23rd, 2023. Special conditions apply.
Saturday the 23rd of September, we're coming for the birthday celebration. Woodsy, that's the place to be. Yes, please. 1133 Clarkson Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, 11212. Limited $40 tickets to our open bar from 9 to 11 p.m. Bottle packages as low as $250 up to $650. They include bottles, tickets, tables, and of course, appetizers. And don't stress about the music because New York's top DJs are gonna be on the inside. So we're calling all Virgos, all Libras, all September bonds. Come in and join the birthday celebration with Woodsy. Saturday, 23rd of September. Woodsy, Brooklyn, New York. We're gonna be there. Here's our vibe.
On OMG in the morning with the real Batman Bing and DJ Shady.
Forever, our love is like forever. This is like forever. Yeah, yeah. I need you like forever. We're always together. Hey, girl, yeah. Kiss you like 1,000 times. Love you like 1,000 times. And I could go 1,000 miles. Still I never get tired of you. Like 1,000 times. And I could write 1,000 rhymes just to tell you how much I could I never get tired of you. Girl, we say me and you is like a dream come true. We're standing firm now because we love you.
Man, Shady, you don't know this song just did something to me because of some news I just got.
Over, girl. Oh, you want so genuine. Up and see you out the road and try a thing. This I love you now, don't it ever run out that expiring. Baby girl, your love inspiring. 1,000 times, love you like 1,000 times. And I could go 1,000 miles. Still I never get tired of you. Like 1,000.
I'll tell you about the news I just got and why
just to tell you how
this song means mean so much to me. So while I was ranting just now, I just got news from Mai Tai. You guys remember Mai Tai? Mai Tai? Yeah? I interviewed her the day before she left to go off to boarding school, which I can put the picture, show the picture. I'm not going to put it up on social media, of course. I can show it to you. I don't know if you can see it. Normally I will go in front of the camera and show it. That she is student of the week. She's at Trinity College School in Canada, and Mai Tai is student of the week in the entire school. I'm so proud of her. You know how much I love this child. I love all my children. But there's something about daughters, you know. And this daughter of mine, she's my anyway. Let me just leave that right there. Look, my boys know. My boy is not that you guys probably thinking, oh no, how his sons feel about the way he expresses his love for his daughter. My boys know, and my boys understand the protection. And they said to me, because she teased them a lot, she said, you know, I'm daddy's favorite child, right? She does that. And no matter how much I say to her, you shouldn't be telling your brothers that. She does it to them, like teasing them a lot. And they said, Daddy, we know that you have a special love for Tai because she's the only girl, and you gotta feel like if you gotta protect her. And they say, we feel that way too. They feel that love for her as well too. And they love her just as much as I do, and in some cases even more, you know. James is missing her so much that he can't wait that we've already made preparations for him to go up and visit her. So he will be going up on the 2nd of October because he's missing her so much, you know. She's just an amazing child, my Tai. Yeah. Should I show you? Should I come to the camera like I did the other day? Yeah, let me see if I can do it. So you can do it. Yeah. But I don't just love her because she is doing well academically and all the other qualities she's got. I just love her because she's just an amazing person. Like my boys, you know, they are amazing as well too. If you know them each individually, you would understand. They each have all three of them got their own different personalities, and all have amazing personalities. And you know, whenever we all get together, it's just amazing, you know. When Chavez comes home and we all three get together, well, all four of us. Sometimes we decide to spend time without mommy, and we just have amazing time. And you see how I go? I go from being a real bad man, like fighting and this and ranting and carrying on, to Tai just melts me. So I just got that thing came in on my WhatsApp, and it just melts me and just brought me right down. It just simmered me right down. I'm going 100 miles per hour to just going moving at 5, you know. That's what children does to you. I don't know if you're a father and you don't feel that. Something is definitely wrong with you. Definitely wrong with you. If you're a father and you don't feel and experience that. Hey, before we bring in Dr. Richard, let me remind you that Max Pizza would like to inform the general public that they are closed for business. They look forward to serving you from the 26th of September. That's very soon, 2023, from 12 noon. They will reopen. All right. And of course, KCCU, Kingston Cooperative Credit Union, embrace the future, they are saying, of education with KCCU EdTech. Head back to school hassle-free with financial support. They can give you between $3,000 to $5,000. Yeah, and they say enjoy super low interest rates and manageable monthly payment. Invest in your dreams today and pave the way for a brighter tomorrow. Yeah, that's from KCCU. Hey, my boy, Shallow Day, Shallow. My boy Shallow. I need to see my boy Shallow. Why do I look for Shallow? Where's Shallow? Shallow, where the buddy? Where you at? Nia, where is Shallow? Nia, I cannot find Shallow. Shallow's my boy. I gotta find Shallow's script. Shallow. But anyway, Shallow got, even though I can't find it, I know out of my head that he's got a special going on. Yeah? And that's with the tires. Yeah? They've got a special going on for tires. Buy a set and you get the fourth one for free. So go and check out Shallow SVG Tires, all right? And just ask for Shallow. Just ask for the big man himself, all right? He will hook you up. Hey, morning to my boy Frankie. Frankie's another amazing, and I'm recognizing outstanding people. Whenever I do this, I get in trouble because, you know, sometimes I don't call certain people's name and they get upset. And those of you who get upset, I say fire for you. Yeah. So can't find Shallow. Maybe there's a reason why it's not there. All right. So I don't know. I'm not gonna go against the traffic staff, meaning the. I'm not gonna go against Nia because I don't want to get in trouble. Nia and Nams. I don't want to get in trouble. I can't find the script, so I'll leave that right there. Yeah. We got Dr. Richards. Where is he? Is he there? He's not there yet. Doc, we're waiting on you while we wait. Yeah. And I've got a son by the name of James Mitchell. If you ever meet that boy, give him a hug and you will feel the most amazing. He transferred that love from himself. You feel it. You feel that love. Just say, can I have a hug? And you will feel the most. He gives the best hugs that you will ever get. Chavez, on the other hand, don't touch it. He don't like the hugs. But if anything you ask him to do, he will go out of his way to do it for you. He's very quiet, very unassuming. That's when he's in public and all that. You would never think. But you ask him to move the mountain for you and he will do it for you. Doc is there? Yeah. Where is he? Is not seeing him? Oh, okay. Bring him forward for me, please. Let's go to StreamYard. StreamYard is up. Let's go. Now,
let's check in with the doc and look at things with a wider lens. Pastor Richards on OMG.
Pastor and my favorite doc, intellectual doc, that is, not medical doc. Yeah. Good morning to you, doc. Good morning.
Good morning, JD. Good morning, everyone.
Sounding a bit down this morning, doc.
No. Just pensive. Thank you, guys, those of you who did stick around for this segment of the broadcast. So I was listening to as much of it as I could this morning. And the thing that you mentioned being, right? And if you wish to engage me, that's fine. I love it, actually. This whole thing that you said that we are docile, all right? Not this. You described you described us in a particular way. Some of it not really admirable, to be quite honest with you. The things you said about Vincent Charles and our docility. It was a little throwback there to what Max said. Now Max blames it on our Christian moorings. We are rooted in and shaped by Christianity that teaches us that docility is to be championed. I dealt with that the other day. You were throwing out a bunch of issues this morning that we are docile on. You are trying to agitate and make a noise. And continually throughout that, you listen to me and tell me if I'm not telling the truth. Bing had this common theme. I don't think this morning you call us stupid, but basically docile. At the other end, we had other people calling in under the guise or the robe of advocacy. Right? So I'm listening this morning, and I like to analyze, and I'm trying to weigh the two, my people. Docility versus advocacy. Engagement. Agitating. You all put out there this morning that part of the reasons why we are so docile is because, and by the way, I've talked about this thing of docility, and to a certain extent, I understand the peacemaking culture among us that we don't really like to cause too much botheration. So we suck salt. I don't know if you've ever heard that term. We suck salt. I heard put out this morning that Vincentian people are docile because they're afraid. They have a bread to eat, or they have a family to protect. They have a way of life, and for certain reasons. But I heard it, again, tell me if I'm wrong, somebody, but Vincentians are docile because we are afraid. We are docile because we are protecting turf and territory about ourselves. So we don't fight up for other people because we have to protect ourselves. Also, I heard that the docility arises in part, because we are careful that if we advocate, even if it is responsible advocacy, if we advocate on anything at all, we will get labeled politically, and that might have repercussions and spin-off. So to be safe, we prefer not to advocate. Am I correct in summing up what's been happening this morning, by the way? Now, what was that?
I'm not sure you are, but go ahead.
Did you not say we were docile?
Oh, certainly, and I stand by that.
Did the discussion not implicate that advocacy has consequences? Yes or no? Come on, man. Yes or no, Bing? Bing, did your discussion on radio this morning not put out there, imply that aggressive and even not so aggressive, if you open your mouth, that there are consequences? Yes or no, Bing?
Yes. Yes. Certain persons said that. Yes. Douglas said that. Yes. Yes. I think knowing him, he will stand by that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm just recapping, so don't make it sound like if I'm
No.
I'm not making this up.
I misconstrued what you were saying.
Well, listen well. I want to engage you so that you can see where I'm going with this. So we have, on the one hand, what is an apparent docility, and on the other hand, we have a very troublesome matter of advocacy. Advocacy is troublesome. Now, from where I sit, I believe that irresponsible advocacy. Watch me, listen to me. Dave and Kingsley and Kensley and Kenson, excuse me, and all of you. Responsible advocacy is healthy for this society. And there's some, I admit that there might be some in their immaturity who would treat responsible advocacy as a political narrative and get offended. But the healthy society, let me tell you something, one of the things that will benefit this country is when, I'm not saying it's not there, but when we generate and ramp up and rev up this whole idea of responsible advocacy. By the way, I've seen it done. I have seen it done. To those who think that we are docile, where it matters most, we have actually been agitating and advocating for things that are beneficial to our society. And by the way, not all advocacy is political. I mean, yes, it may get treated like that. But if we talk about the criminal justice system, for example, and I've been talking about that, and the commercialization of justice. Yes, I said it. Yes, I said it. Yes, I said it. It's become a highly commercial enterprise. And what comes with that? What comes with a highly commercial enterprise? Money is power. Currency is power. So the justice system can and has been jimmied by people with money. And purists can continue to advocate and speak up. That's not a political matter. That's not a political matter. When we talk about the issue of vending, I mean, yes, because some of it is regulated by Kingston Board here in Kingston, we want to make that a political matter, but by and large, as a human matter, not a political matter. We talk about management and practices at the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital. Should we not advocate and agitate? I think we should. I really think we should. And it ought not to be seen through the lens of political narrative. Environmental stewardship, which you have been talking about this morning. And that is the problem. We want to take neutral matters and take them and bring them on the lens of politics. And when you do that, they become discolored. The water it gets muddied. But environmental stewardship ought not to be a political matter, essentially, and at its axial core, it ought not to be a political matter. So when people, for example, for the protection of the environment, we had an issue with plastic, and Bing, who was at the one of the pioneers of that particular advocacy. Bing, I'm gonna come to that because that is advocacy 101, teaching you how to do effective advocacy. All right, I'll come to that maybe as my model, time permitting. But I'm showing you that thing with the hillside and environmental studies, a number of environmental issues in St. Vincent, that advocacy and agitation is required. And again, whether you are on one side of the political fence or the other, the thing is to get kind of edgy. The thing is to kind of catch feelings. But let me tell you something, advocacy, responsible advocacy, which I probably need to define, but responsible advocacy is one of the healthiest things any society can champion, and it ought not to be, seen askance or sideways, or you kind of watching it with suspicious eyes. When you see groups of people and organizations and civil society advocating, it ought to be applauded, not shut down. Advocacy ought to be applauded and encouraged. Did you hear me say that? Quote me. Advocacy ought to be encouraged, applauded. There are a bunch of issues. I myself have advocated on for a number of things. Access to beaches, kind of one, and all of that. But the thing with us, what is the end of advocacy? And that's where we begin to suspect that there's docility, because advocacy not sustained is a waste of time. How much time I have? All right. Advocacy, there's a difference between advocacy and making a noise. And I want to go back to that example with plastic. You didn't hear much noise about the plastic, but you got much done. Right? And I think we have a tendency to evaluate and assess the impact and the potency of advocacy on the basis of how loud the noise is. As a churchman, for example, I normally say that what the church is doing, we actually don't make a whole heap of noise about it, because we know that effective advocacy is not a make a noise. A make a noise advocacy is what impresses the populace, what impresses the people, but it really, probably you do it to get applause and to get, get noted. Advocacy, yes, is to bring awareness. I think our problem is, and because of time, I'm going to have to shut down. Our problem is not
I'll give you some extra time this morning. I don't want you to shut down. I want to hear
our problem being, we know well how to make a noise, but we don't know well how to pursue effective advocacy. And making a noise, by the way, don't think I'm discounting that. Making a noise, for example, when the Christian people had their march, all right, way back a couple of years ago in November. Yeah, make a noise, you make a public thing, but after that, and we said it, and I said it over and over again, that is just to bring something to the fore to the public, but you have to have a mechanism. If that is your most effective strategy to march, which is why I often said, when he says march about this, march about that, march about that, a lot of times you have a march and that's it. That didn't make any sense. You get on the radio, you're calling and you make a noise, you woke up froth in your mouth and you make a stink and you carry on. For what? Now, yeah, there's a value to that, by the way, if it is done responsibly, to bring awareness. But if all you want to do is to bring awareness, but you have no clue of how to pursue effective advocacy, people are schooled in that. The plastic issue, by the way. If I go to a store, by the way, these days, if I go to a store, I don't get my stuff handed to me in a plastic bag. Why? Because that environmental stewardship issue, that particular environmental stewardship issue was taken up by someone. Decided they're going to advocate. Now, the question is, and this is where the schooling in the thing is, this is where you get schooled in how to do advocacy. Oh, by the way, I have a number of examples of effective advocacy right here in St. Vincent. So I picked that, but I could pick any other. And these are things I have said over and over again. This is how you do advocacy. People always want to evaluate you on whether you came on radio. You ain't talk about this, you ain't talk about that, you ain't talk about that. I didn't hear a whole heap of talk. All I know is that, all I know is that I go to a supermarket, and by law, the supermarkets were instructed, and it got to where you want your groceries to carry out in something, buy a bag, and it can't be a plastic bag. By the way, I still see them breaking the law and selling outside the door, $1 bag. The effective advocacy, a lot of it is not talk. The effective, by the way, I gave Ubing, the nation, a methodology that I practice for effective management of anything. And it was 4 points. I remember saying simplicity. I remember saying focus. I remember saying alignment. And I remember saying action. In the matter of the plastics, it became very, very simple. It became very, very simple. Plastic is bad for the environment. Tons of plastic, most of it coming out of the supermarket. You have a bag home, a plastic bag filled up with a lot of other plastic bags. Eventually, these plastic bags make their way either into the dump, into the soil, into the rivers, into the ocean. It takes forever to they don't really. Even when they disintegrate in particles, they're still there. It takes eons to get rid of them. Simple idea. Plastic bag. Simplicity. Focus. What are we going to do? Focus. What are we going to do? We're going to talk a talk. We're going to talk a talk. Focus. What are we going to do? Alignment. Who do I know? Who do I need to bring on board? Who do I need to write a letter to? Who do I need to go and have a conversation with now? That is where advocacy is happening. Who do I need to convince and sell? Who has power? Whether referential power, position power, money power, political power. Who has power? And on the plastic issue, the person knew who had power. So after they got past simplicity and after they got past focus, very clearly at the fulcrum, they went for alignment. This will happen and this will happen. And if you line up the people with power and begin to pressure and apply pressure, eventually, and again, this is something that I have said, the most effective, I've said it over and over, the most, and I made reference to Trump and the effectiveness of his administration. I made reference within the COVID time about the effectiveness of writing down things, documenting things, and having it enacted and passed in law. When you do that, a lot of the COVID laws are still in place, and I warned about the residual effect. I warned about it, the residual effect. You put it in place, but years later, after the immediate situation is cleared up, and you were seeing it after the immediate situation is cleared up, years later, the law is still on the book. I could tell you plenty laws like that, but I don't have time. So you know the power of law. If you are an effective advocate, you want to align people who could eventually get pen moving. And in the plastic issue, you align people who could get pen moving. And when pens start to move, things get drafted. And when things get drafted, things get written, things get presented, things get passed. And when things get passed and become law, then you have been effective. LGBTQ. That's another area of incredible effective advocacy. And again, following the same 4 point, simplicity, focus, alignment, movement. Where LGBTQ was and that particular group that subscribed to, where they were 20, 30 years ago is not where they were today. They have been incredibly effective, They have been incredibly effective. How they have lobbied and the kind of laws that have passed. I made reference even in the way material and textbooks that I use are written. How they have when I say the laundering, you have rinsed. You have rinsed textbooks. You have rinsed textbooks. You have lobbied and you have rinsed textbook of what was in them 20, 30 years ago. Anything anti-LGBTQ is all whitewashed. Gone. And what is in them now? You are seeing a lot of I made a reference to a manual that I used, the DSM-3R. Well, the new DSM is gone beyond that now. Diagnostic and Statistical Manual for Psychologists and Psychiatrists, by which we assess people. Now, what was in them is not what in them. Now, how did that happen? I mean, pressure power, effectiveness, alignment, action.
Can I engage you now, Doc?
Yeah, Bing.
Or you want to go on to most of
No, that's a good. What I'm saying is that my point is, talk what? Docility, don't judge. So because we ain't talk with docile, no, effective advocacy is what I have been talking, and I'd rather that our people develop a culture of knowing how to do effective advocacy rather than a culture of how to talk. Yeah, Bing, you could talk now.
Talk what?
Bing, talk to me, Bing. I don't know if you got what I've been saying, you know. I don't know if you got what I've been saying.
Well, as you said, talk what? I'm trying to know. Did you hear Troy Prince this morning, Doc?
No, I didn't hear Troy. Maybe off and on. I listened. I heard voices. I don't know.
Troy Prince came on from about 10 past 7 this morning.
I missed him.
To the radio? Well, you missed it. Okay, good. Then you would have missed a big part of what the whole issue of the quarry and the approach which was taken and all of that was about. So then if you missed it, then I don't think that I can like engage you in the way that I want to engage.
That's fair. That's fair. You can't engage a man who is ignorant, and if I'm ignorant, don't engage me because I would just talk dandruff.
And ignorant in the sense that you didn't hear, not.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's exactly what I mean. I think too many people want to throw in and weigh in and talk, and they don't know stuff.
Right.
I mean, I ain't for that. I didn't hear. I don't know. I ain't going to talk.
Okay.
And more people should adopt that opinion position to be. But the main of what I have said is that, for example, that quarry issue. Should people make a noise and have a talk? Yeah. But hold on, responsibly get some information, understand the thing. Now, for example, what you showed this morning, which when you said, go to Facebook, see me with my sheep-like attitude. Bing said, go to Facebook, so I go in Facebook. So I went Facebook, and when I saw the hill, I mean, it evoked an emotion. And a lot of it, that evoking of emotion could be irresponsible because then I might want to give a response and say, imagine that, watch there, and I might run with that. Now, behind that, though you evoke emotions have been evoked, you now have to be responsible and get a better understanding of what's happening there. I hear you guys talking about erosion, the blue economy becoming the brown economy, a whole heap of things. And, you could run with that. But also, you could continue to inform yourself as to what's going on and be better informed.
Right.
If you have a problem with me, say be better informed, boy, then you have a problem. You want to be better informed, okay? You want to be better informed, yes or no?
But that's that. I started on the premise of, did you hear Troy Prince? And you said no. So then I said, well, then Troy Prince would have made you be better informed.
Good, very good.
That.
Right. So I missed that, right?
You missed.
So I need for example, you weren't on when I was dealing with the NISSU. I think I was asked or whatever, or I came on a day when the NISSU was hot. I said nothing, and a lot of people they, boy, hey, you're running from the NISSU, you want to talk, you did see that. I simply said, I don't know enough. But Bing, you know what I did? Well, you know me well. You could suspect if you know me well what I did. I talk with NIS people. I try to get as much information as possible. When they brought on the thing the night with a lot of independent people from outside St. Vincent, I went and I checked that out. I listened, I made notes.
But that's a completely different thing than the issue in North Leeward. North Leeward is something that you don't have to be someone who've got a PhD to look up at a mountain and see what is going on. You don't have to have a PhD to go and read up and research as you would do to understand the implications of what is taking place.
When the airport was
So the average person who see what is happening there, they can have come to their opinion and realize, well, hold on, this is really not making much sense.
And again, Bing, in relation to that sometimes, and this is a problem that I have, for example, when this church was being constructed, I mean, it's just really ridiculous. All of that, what was done. Sometimes we don't see the end from the beginning. And in the embryonic stages of anything, it can look real complicated and mess, and it doesn't make sense to the uninformed. Now, I am not saying what's happening down at North Leeward is good or bad. I am not saying that.
I can't believe you just said that you put those two together.
Wait. You listen to me. I am not telling you, boy, yeah, that's bad. Boy, yeah, that is good. I am making a point. I am making a general point. And if you want to rubbish this, you could rubbish it. But a lot of times, and typically, it is difficult to discern the end at the beginning. That's wisdom I just give you there.
Thank you for that wisdom, but I cannot believe that you are touching that wisdom to what is happening in North Leeward. That what you may see is not really what is the end, but the beginning.
You missed something. I am not saying the thing is good or bad.
I get that. And you
Okay,
said that
so don't,
several
don't, don't,
times.
don't, don't, no, 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 no,
You
no.
said that
Don't you,
several
wait,
times.
no. Don't you try to pigeonhole me. Don't try to
I'm
pigeonhole
not
me.
trying to
Yes, you
pigeonhole
are.
you.
Yes, you are trying to pigeonhole me
I
for
just
effect.
repeated what you said.
I said, is it true that there are times you can't see the end from the beginning, and some
Correct. That's what I
the
said.
end can be devastating. So don't twist it, man. Don't do that. Sometimes those who begun the thing, you're thinking in this myopic way. Sorry, man. Come now, man. You think in one dimension. I am saying that you can't see the end from the beginning. So those who begun the project, look at it this way: they may not see the end from the beginning, also. So catch yourself, man.
No.
Catch yourself.
But no way in my narrative did I mention the people who began the project. In my narrative, I said you don't have to be a PhD to
And
look
that
up
is
and see
your
what is
problem.
going on. That the average person, the average Vincentian, could go down there or can look at the video and see, wait, hold on. Oh, look at what is going on here.
Exactly.
And come to their own conclusion of what is going on. But then, as you said, and as we said, you're ignorant to the fact because you didn't hear Troy Prince from an organization in North Leeward, all right, who gave very full disclosure information, who was on site, who even admitted that he.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
Supposed to and all of that.
Let me ask you a question, B.
Information and double checked. Okay, go ahead.
Let me ask you a question. In my ignorance, right? Ignorance, because I don't know. Does it sound like if I am applauding the thing, or if I'm criticizing the thing, the project? In my ignorance, what does it sound like?
Your ignorance sounds as if you were just ignorant.
Am I defending what's happening down at North Leeward, or am I criticizing what's happening down at North Leeward? What does it sound like?
I don't know. I am ignorant to that fact. I'm ignorant to that fact.
But you're trying to
will
paint an
know.
impression.
I'm not trying to paint, Doc. But you are also painting an impression.
What's the impression I'm painting?
This.
What's the impression I'm painting?
You said it. You said it. You said it. You said that sometimes when we see the start, it's not necessary how the end is going to be.
Right, and I said that.
You give an example of a church building of when it started. People didn't
apples and oranges.
What is apples and oranges, dog?
Church building and that was just by the way.
But that was the example you use. You use that to define how sometimes when we see things and the start of things, we may not understand the outcome of how it's going to end.
That is true, Bing. Now, here's your problem, and I will tell you what your problem is. You apply that generalization to one side only, to the people looking on, you didn't apply it at all to those who are investing, and that's where the myopic vision comes in. You didn't even see that this could be applied to a number of projects that got started, a number of things that got started, and they didn't see the end. I mean, you all made reference to a Royal Mail project. Come on, Bing, you had to see that I speak globally.
I made reference to Royal Mail project.
No, a couple of days ago and yesterday itself, you all made
I did. Bing Joseph did.
No, I said on the radio, on your station, reference was made how finance drying up. They didn't see that. You made reference to the Sandals project and all that.
Bing Joseph did that.
No, let me tell you something. All right? Whether on one side or the other, this is a truth. Sometimes this applies to me too. I don't see the end from the beginning. So don't take that in a judgmental way and run with it one way. Don't run with it one way.
Without, and I'm admitting here my ignorance. Help me to understand the end from the beginning with regards to the North Leeward Quarry project.
The North Leeward Quarry project, because I am informed, right? This could apply to both. So I give a generalization. Sometimes you don't see the end from the beginning. On one hand, those who are investing may have seen a quarry of stone,
but the potential,
waiting.
Yeah,
and you got it at the beginning.
An orgasm.
That's not my word.
No, that's my
And
word.
then when you start digging, whoa up. When you start digging, you realize, boy, I didn't see the end from the beginning. So it's applicable there.
Right.
It is applicable also. Hold up. It is also applicable.
And then when do you stop though, Doug?
Hold on, let me finish this so you could ask me that. It is also applicable to those who are watching and are aghast, perplexed.
Correct. Emotion.
It could be, they too may not see the end from beginning. So don't take it and apply it to anyone. I'm just saying generally, a lot of times, even in investment, as I have been around people who have invested and you don't see the end from the beginning.
Okay, so let's talk about the investment in the North Leeward Quarry project. Okay, you don't see the end from the beginning. You just see a project that could give you high returns. All right, so you invest in it. You start, and you're going, and you're going, and you're going. Now, a real and true investor would know and will understand. Well, okay, there got to be a point when there's no return and I've got to pull out.
Would you blame an investor? Would you blame an investor that does that?
That does the what?
What you just said. Realize, boy, I made a mistake. Yes. We made a big mistake here. What we thought was going to be here ain't here.
Right, and I'm going along with that, right? What will be the cutoff point? Now, a real investor would not just think about himself. If
no, we are hypothesizing, right? We are hypothesizing.
Right. Hypothetically speaking, right?
All right, good.
When will be the point when we would step back and say, well, hold on, I'm throwing good money behind bad money with this thing. It's not just affecting me, it's affecting others.
Here's the thing, Bing. My fellow Vincentians, here's the thing, right? Perfectionism is an illusion. And especially governments are and people in power are very protective of the image of perfectionism. Anything we have the Midas touch. Anything we touch turns to gold. If we ever
remember, you're the one who bring in the politics in it now, eh? So go ahead.
If we ever admit failure in any innovation, in any idea, it will alienate the people. We therefore have to prop up the illusion that we were always right. All right? People have this, and a lot of that is not the people in government. Please hear me out, Bing. I really want everybody to hear this. A lot of the problem in that is not from the people in government. A lot of the problem in that is from the people that we are not tolerant. We leverage failure. Let me put it this way. We leverage the failure of people. I've watched it on Facebook. I've watched it in social media. I watch it everywhere. Dare anyone fail? Dare anyone get egg on their face? They're ridiculed, they're rubbish, they're scorned, they're scourged. And therefore, because of the mentality of people that, especially, you don't ever want to come to them and say, man, we have failed. And I think that's a weakness when you can come to people. I'm speaking hypothetically, of course, not necessarily of that project, but a number of projects that are either slowing down or coming to a halt, whatever the case may be. A number of things that you have envisaged and it didn't play. You're not perfect, and I preach this, I teach this all the time. We are not perfect, and a lot of times we just need to come and say, hey, this is one of the things that we boo-booed on. Okay. And I don't know for sure that any of the projects that you guys are talking about are boo-boos, but I'm saying that I have this mentality. I don't care. I don't know about the others of you, but I have this mentality that whether it is someone over me or someone next to me or someone in power, whatever, you ain't perfect. And that goes for me too. Imperfect. And every now and again, you will boo-boo and you will start something that you didn't see the end from the beginning. And it's okay to say, boy, I didn't see the end from the beginning.
Dr. Richards, I want to thank you very much. We went way over time this morning, on this one, but it was an interesting and healthy discussion that needed to be had. Thank you very, very much, as per usual. I miss having these kind of back and forth with you.
We are learn to advocate, though. Seriously, we have to learn to agitate and lobby. And making a noise is just really entry point. The most effective.
What do you define as making a noise?
Awareness. There's a way to bring awareness that is not vitriolic. And I think the vitriolic bringing something to somebody's awareness, and Facebook is to be blamed, the algorithms.
But you got to start somewhere, though.
Yeah, but sometimes you could start. I made reference to the plastic thing. It was not a vitriolic making a noise. All right, it really wasn't that. You were close to that. You were close to that, and
I was. I was. But I think comparing the two issues are really ridiculous. The two issues there wasn't as much pushback with the plastic issue as there was with the mountain and the quarry. So it's two completely different things. But I don't want to get started again. Let me give you.
I have to give you good marks. I call you myopic. You call me ridiculous. I think we're fair.
At the end of it, you know that you're still my favorite part. Thank you very much, Doc. Thank you very much.
Everybody, have a good day. Have a good day. We'll talk more about this later.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
We went over time. I want to say thanks for Jill for accommodating us and for giving us a chance to have this discussion. And we'll be back tomorrow morning. Shady, say your goodbye, buddy. Tomorrow is Wednesday. We don't care. We don't give two lambs on a Wednesday morning. Yeah, I should have a special guest in tomorrow. Not special. I should have a partner in tomorrow morning. The Cutlass is traveling. Did he say it on the radio? But I should have a buddy in tomorrow morning to keep my company. Yeah, we go on later. Bye bye.
Boom 1069 is trending.
Turn up the music. Turn down the light.
Blazing on the air at 1069 FM.
I like you. I do.
What does this button do? Lord, have mercy.
On your phone or device at tunein.com. Or on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Boom SVG 1069.